Is this working? Hopefully. Hopefully it's working. Hey guys. Can you say something in the chat if you can see me? Ah, there it is. I think it's working. Yeah, looks like it's working. Now I need to make sure that I can see the chat. Give me a moment. I'm gonna get there probably. Docs, there it is. YouTube live control panel. Aha, I need to re-log in. Give me a sec. Not now. Okay, but I still cannot see comments. Give me a second. I am having technical issues, as always. How do I see comments again? I haven't done this in a long time. That's my issue. Aha, okay. So no sound. Okay, no sound. Okay, let's see. Okay, just give me a sec. Pop. Audio input. Capture. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Ah, that's better. A little better. That's better. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Good. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I'm still trying to find, like, in my streaming software, the way that I can look at all of my comments. I used to be able to do that, and I cannot find it right now. YouTube live control panel. There it is. It's there, but it's like not showing me anything. Hello everyone, by the way. Hey ho. Dang, we have a lot of people, by the way. Who do we have? Donculus, Andrew Weller from the UK, Space City Astro from Texas, Starfront Observatories user Richard, Alan, Marcin. Marcin reminds me of a guitarist who's super popular these days. Love that guy. Kiera from Indiana, Space City Astro. I think I already said that. Morpheus sleeps. Yes, dans les bras de Morphée. Greetings from the Nether Country. We have Rover, Aporva, Dave, Pete. Hello, Pete. Thanks for joining. Teb, from north of Italy. The last clear sky was on January the 30th. That's not so long ago. It's raining right now here. Kieran was back on the 10th, and then everyone was telling me that they cannot hear me. But it's getting better now, I think. Jeff, Mitch, this one, Jim, Chris, Dave, Edwin, Smas Sky. Who else do we have? We have a ton of people here. And Revolting. I like this name. So now it's like someone is saying too loud. Let me know if it's too loud or if you can control your volume. And we have Alan, who did you just join as a member? Thank you. Welcome to the channel as a member. Really helps the channel out. And Cuiv, don't forget to home your mount. And if you have a flat panel incident, we snip your Ethernet cable. Don't worry, guys. So today, what are we going to do today? Let me show you actually a little bit. No, wait. First, I need to figure out how I can see the chat all the time, because I'm supposed to be able to do that. I just cannot remember how. One moment, please. Docs, scenes, stats, chat. There it is. Okay, I'm getting there. Professional streamer, right? Okay, so now I can iconize this and I can actually show you guys what I want to do today. So let me try to go. Okay, give me a sec. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. Okay, how's that? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, actually I can see if I hear myself. Then you'll hear an echo. It's gonna be horrible, but bear with me. Yeah, I think I could hear some mouse clicks. Okay, great. Cool. Excellent. So now both this and this should work. I'll double check. Pop, 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 pop. There we go. Okay, so this one, desktop only, should work as well. Now we should have everything working. And let's make sure that we have more or less the same level for everyone. There we go. Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys. Okay, perfect sound. I sound beautiful. Thank you, Rover. Please tell me more about how beautiful I sound. Awesome. Oh, we have so many people. How many people do we have right now? I don't even remember how to check that. Oh, I can. 173. Guys, that's insane. Welcome, welcome. So today, several things we can do. We're waiting for the roof to open on the Starfront Observatories. So now I'm wondering, can I pin that? No, that would be closing it. Okay, so I know what I can do. Give me a sec. Pop. And I want to show my desktop. Pop. There we go. No, I do not need OneDrive. There we go, there we go. Oh dang, I'm like not able to read all of the comments, but this is so cool, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Hey, Sean, channel member as well, and Aditya. You always put a smile on my face. That's the goal. We have Dim from Germany. Well, Germany, isn't it like midnight and 9 minutes? And yeah, everyone tell me welcome to Starfront. So Starfront, Mitch is asking, where is Starfront? Starfront is in Rockwell, Texas, I think. Except that it's like kind of a private-ish community. I don't know. Those don't really exist in Japan, I guess. Rockwood. There you go. Rockwood, Texas. That's it. That's where it is. An unincorporated community in Coleman County, Texas. There you go. I wish they had somewhere in the, like, I hope at some point that they make one in the southern hemisphere, like in New Zealand or in Australia or something like that, because that would be awesome to have access to those stars from the southern hemisphere. So what do we have here? First, I will be clear, this is not my setup. I am stealing Bray's setup. Bray is the founder, manager, CEO, something of Starfront Observatories. I have no actually idea what the structure actually is. And yeah, so I'm using someone else's rig. Originally, like Bray contacted me asking me whether I wanted to send a rig over. But you know, I have my problem with doing that is that I need rigs to compare equipment, to do my reviews, to check whether a telescope works with a certain camera, that kind of stuff. So if I were to send a rig, an entire rig to the US, then maybe I would regret it later on when I'm like doing a review of some piece of equipment and I'm like, if only I had that kind of thing. So what we have is Bray's equipment, and I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but I think I see a cobweb. This is so cool. So in between the focuser window and the azimuth adjustment knob, it's yeah, a cobweb. Nice. So Bray, maybe if you're watching this, you'll want to clean that up at some point. It's not my equipment, so I'm good. Revolting, I did not get access to his 3 RASA rig for now. But you know, if I don't break his small rig, maybe he'll get me to use the big rig. Okay, good. So you have enough quality to see the the cobwebs. This is nice. I wonder. So we have a big strap of Velcro here. I don't know. So we have, yeah, just to say what we have in there, we have an Red Cat 61. We have a ZW AM3 mount. We have a beautiful pier, and we have a ZW ASI 2600 MM Pro. Yes, with the no, Duo, sorry, Duo with the guide window in there. An electronic focuser, EAF, an electronic filter wheel, and it's all controlled by an ASI Air. Let me try to catch up. Spiders from Mars, absolutely. We have Laurent Le Bartman from Lyon in France, also around midnight. And what do you think about Takahashi Epsilon? So Familia, this is something that I know it's a paradox. I've been in Japan for almost 18 years now, and I've never owned, and I don't believe, I have touched, but I have never owned a Takahashi telescope. And I've touched a Takahashi telescope because they have some at a nearby rooftop observatory in a park that's not far from where I am. They do some public observation sessions, like at some nights, for some very simple stuff like Pleiades, that kind of stuff. Sometimes they even have solar observation, but they have like massive Muon 250 tacks. They have massive refractors as well. They have those. What's the name? Miyagi? No, I don't remember. Like the super expensive mounts as well. And what? Sorry, I have to interrupt this message because Pete gifted 50 Cuiv, the Lazy Geek memberships. So everyone who's getting a membership right now, please say thank you to Pete. Pete is, in French, I would call him a mécène. I don't know how to say that, a patron. There it is. Like Pete is a patron of astrophotography. He's very active on the Lucomatico channel. Oh! Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Who can we see? I keep being interrupted rudely. Hi, Bray. This is so cool. It's like we're having like a little party there. People from all over the world. Bray coming and maybe cleaning up the cobweb. I love this. So anyway, I was saying, everyone, please thank Pete for the membership that you receive. He's very active on the Lucomatico channel. Luke is a good buddy of mine. I work with him quite a lot. We're talking all of the time in the background. And I know Pete has been supporting Luke a lot. Luke has a new baby, so I'm sure it's been super helpful. And Pete, thank you so much for your support to Luke and to me as well. It's a huge deal. And there we go. It's gone. The cobweb is gone, guy. Celebration. Applause. Beautiful. There's a bug on the screen. It's a very large bug with 2 arms. Awesome, Bray. That's so cool. There we go. You see, that's Starfront Observatories. If you have cobweb on your scopes, you say it, and they come and clear the web immediately. And that's awesome. Oh, and on Chuck, I haven't been on Chuck's channel in a while, actually, because Chuck has been doing a lot of shorts. And I don't watch YouTube shorts because if I start watching YouTube shorts, I actually start scrolling. And after 5 of them, something like that, I catch myself. I'm like, what am I doing? Because somehow YouTube Shorts can start with a super cool Chuck astrophotography related or astronomy related videos, and by the third video it's like kids dancing or K-pop or something like that. I'm like, I don't need that. So yeah. Uh, so yeah, we had a giant stick bug indeed clear up the cobwebs, which is awesome. And the last few days, the Obsi was opened around like 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Japan time, so we have a little bit of time. And just to show you as well, we have here, yeah. So this is all controlled by ASI Air, and I'm using an open VPN setup that's being set up by Starfront. I've modified a little bit the client file so that only the traffic to a certain IP address, so to the ASI Air, is relayed via this hotspot. Oh, someone is telling me that the advert was loud, so maybe the stream is a bit quiet. So adverts are always loud because that's part of the strategy, even on TV. But what I can do is the stream is a bit quiet. Let me check my levels. If I can check my levels, there we go. Let's try like that, minus 3.5. Maybe something like that. Okay, minus 2.5 dB. That's what I'm going to do. Minus 2.5 dB on all of my setups. There we go. Maybe that will be better in terms of volume between the stream and the ads. I told YouTube to do few ads, so hopefully it's not going to be too many. Okay, so again, Pete, thank you so much for your support, for your mécénat in French. Really, really helps out. So there's a very good question from Skippy, also Ed Holt. Welcome to the channel. And thank you so much for your support. Oh, and by the way, little thing, I hope no one from my company is watching this stream because I'm thinking, I have my one-on-one with my boss next week, and I'm thinking of quitting to do full-time YouTube. So yeah, any bit of support actually helps. Because one of the things with going full-time is I need to be very careful about ethics and making sure that, you know, it's like no company can tell me like, hey, do a sponsored video, we'll give you $10,000, and I need to make sure I'm not tempted by that, right? So I have a good nest egg that can support me in case like the YouTube revenue runs dry, and I have you guys support, and that's yeah, big news. Anyway, I'm still like gathering up the courage because it's a bit of a crazy thing to do because I have a good career that works, and but yeah, I guess you only live once, so we'll see. Anyway, going back to a more important thing, which is Skippy is happy. I'm glad you are happy, Skippy. It is a good attitude to have. Asking any idea what the targets are for tonight. So that's my main problem with Starfront. They have access to every single target that you could think of. But because in Tokyo, I always limit myself to the brighter things, I don't know the non-bright targets. I don't know the cool stuff we can image. So please give me some good suggestions in the chat of targets like dark nebulae would be cool. So I did some tests on the ASI Air. So if we look at the image management there, recently for a couple of nights while I was testing this rig under auto run light, we should have, yes, I called it Taurus dark cloud. I don't even remember the denomination, but I've been imaging, let's see, this should be visible, this thing here. And I don't know what the NGC number is for that. Let's see, can we load? Boop, there we go. So we have this dark cloud, so that's what I've been trying to, yes, there it is, IC 2087. You know what, I'm gonna write it down. IC 2087. Thank you, Hunter, by the way. Hunter, welcome to the member. Thank you so much for your support, and same for Morpheus. Also, Morpheus, you know, I need your help because I haven't been able to sleep well at all for the past 2 nights. So if you could like, you know, sprinkle some sleeping powder in my eyes tonight, that would help me a lot. Thank you so much, man. Oh man, this is so cool, guys. So much support. And who else do we have, by the way? We have the Two Rivers Observatory. I have such trouble with the pronunciation of observatory. So I say Obsi. Obsi is fine, right? I can say Obsi. Iris Nebula, that's a good idea. Shark Nebula, also. Horsehead. No, I can do the Horsehead from Tokyo. So that's fine. Snake Nebula, I don't know what that is. Boogeyman in Orion. Can we do a vote? Is it possible to do a vote? Start a poll. Okay, you know what? Please give some other suggestions, and I'll try to write them down. And instead of just the name, if you can you try putting the NGC number or the catalog number? Because that way we can, I don't have to Google it afterwards. And we have some insane support from Jeff Cowell doing his first super thanks on a live stream. So I'm honored that you chose me for that, man. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. This is awesome. Also, like the stream. We have Pete. Nice. Hope you break free from the rat race. That's the goal. 50 pounds. That is insane, mate. Thank you so much for that. And Hunter, yes, you are a Patreon member as well. Dang, that's too much support. I mean, oh man, I'm really, really so thankful. So, NGC 2350, NGC. Isn't that Thor's helmet, 2359? Isn't that Thor's helmet? I've been imaging that from Tokyo recently, actually. Isn't that Thor's helmet? NGC 2359, it rings a bell. Yeah, that's Thor's helmet. Okay. We have, okay, I need to make a list. Let me make a list. So NGC 2359, but that's more or less imageable from Tokyo. M78, I don't remember what that is. NGC 7023. We had like the Shark Nebula, if I remember correctly. Headphones Nebula. Oh, dang, that's that doesn't have a denomination. Nice. Sorry, I'm probably missing a lot of those because you guys are awesome. NGC 2118, the Witch Head Nebula. Okay, not NGC, but IC 2118. LDN 1357. NGC 7023, it's there. Gary, welcome to the channel as a member. Thank you so much for your support. This is amazing. And I've missed NGC 4372. So, you know what? All of those, I have no idea what they are. NGC IC 2118 is the Witch Head. Okay, good to know. 2073 is the Ghost Nebula. And yeah, I always wonder when all those funny names did pop up in the Astro community. The Boogeyman Nebula, LDN 1622. 1622, NGC 155. 1555. And I already have IC 2118, IC 360. There's a lot of good suggestions in there. Also, a little. I mean, it's a half celebration. Edwin, just a novice, just did my first Orion Nebula tonight. Congrats on that. Fog ruined the party. That is part of life. It's awesome that you got out. You likely tried to probably point it to the Orion Nebula. It's awesome. Keep going, man. You're there. You're there. It's awesome. Yeah, Dark Nebula is really what I want. Some of us are imaging the area around M81, M82 for the IFN. That makes sense. M81, 82, that's a good idea as well. And then we have Frank Semi, DKK, Danish Krones. Is that Danish Krone? Oh yes, Danish Krone, thank you so much. That's a lot, man. Thanks so much for your support there. We have SH2 131, Sharpless 131. M78 is already on the list, wasn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, and we have Mitch joining the channel as a member. Thank you so much for your support. IFN around Polaris is a good idea. You don't need tracking either. And we have Steven, great Thor's helmet from Tokyo. Thank you for your Cantadic vids. Thank you so much, man. 20 pounds. That's a lot. Thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I was very, I mean, not very, but somewhat happy with that Thor's helmet image. We have Astro Rocker. Welcome to the channel as a member. Thank you so much for your support. The Shark Nebula 1235. There it is. LDN 1235. Do I have it already in there? So it's this one, LDN 1235. 1235. There we go. We have some insane stuff going on, guys. Netherite, welcome. Congrats on joining a stream. This is going insanely. Sean gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much, Sean. And Revolting gifted 50 memberships. That is insane, guys. And everyone who's getting a membership, please say hello and thank you, because this is amazing, guys. The Friendly Ghost Nebula. I've never taken an image of that either. This is, guys, insane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we have a list of targets. Let's see. Can I do a poll? I can try to do a poll. Let's start a poll. And I need to add many options, right? How many options can I? I can only have 4 options. Okay, so I guess I have to do a pre-screening. Pre-screening. So I'm really interested by the Shark Nebula, 1235. So I'll put that. The Ghost Nebula has a Messier denomination, and I've never done it. So that sounds interesting. After that, let's see, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. So rand 0, 13. Boop. Let's see, random number between 0 and 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one is going to be a candidate. There we go. And we have another option number generator, roll pop 6, IC 2118. There we go. The random number generator plus me has chosen the boogeyman. I'm interested as well. Okay, 20. Which one is okay? Low in the sky. Okay, guys, maybe we can start with this this poll there, and I'm gonna start the poll. I actually don't know what a lot of those are, so let's see. Actually, before I start the poll, let's look at IC 2118. Oh yes, I'd love to do that. NGC 4372. Boop. Oh, nice. I'd love to do that as well. M78. Oops, not N78. M78. There we go. Ultraman official shop. There you go. Messier. That will work better. Oh, wow. Yes. That's also a great idea. Everyone, you've got so many cool ideas. LD 1235. I assume they're all fairly high in the night sky. LD 1235. Astrobin should come up. The Shark Nebula. Okay. Yes, all of those are good suggestions, I think. And 2118 is the Witch Head. Thanks for adding the names. This is something that, it's where my knowledge completely drops off a cliff. I know the brightest targets and some good narrowband targets for the Northern Hemisphere, nothing else. So that's where I'm like, I am so glad to have you here to help us choose a target. So let's start a poll. I guess we'll let it go for like a few minutes. I don't know, see what you guys want to do. Start a poll. I've never done that, by the way. So hopefully it will work. Let's see. Yeah, and oh yes, it's working. Everyone's voting. That's so cool. Let's go. I'm so excited. This is the first time I see that, and I'm loving it. Oh, for M78 is taking the lead apparently. M78 has the lead. Anyone who doesn't like M78, you should quickly put your votes in. This is so much fun. Oh, by the way, I have a silly question, because I don't think it's happened to me in the ASI Air, but at least on this particular ASI Air, and it's probably just a setting that I'm missing. Let's see, I want to go back to the preview tab. Boop. If I'm in preview tab and I have an exposure of 1 second and I just start it, it will loop exposures of 1 second. And I'm pretty sure that my ASI Air, it just takes one exposure and calls it a day. And I don't like the looping. Where can I disable that looping on the ASI Air? It's probably something super simple that I just don't know about where it is. We have Brian saying, quit that job. I left mine last year and have not looked back. Also, it means more live chats than you must. Yeah, it will definitely mean more live streams. Definitely. More live streams, videos. You know, I want to do a Nina Ultimate Guide video. It's been on my mind for a while, and it's going to be a very long to do video, and I'm not sure I would have like the resources to do it without quitting my job. And also, I want to do a Discord channel, right? So we can have some Cuiv, good old Cuiv Discord, and you can turn it off under camera settings. Thanks. Now that's super helpful. Camera settings, advanced. Aha! Continuous preview. There you go. I didn't know about that setting. Thank you. That is so helpful, guys. This is like watching election results. It seems that M78 has the lead for now. Wow, by a large margin. So we have 105 votes, but we have 235 people on the stream. That means that more than half of the voters have abstained. It reminds me of a certain election that happened recently. No politics, no politics, no politics. This is Astro. We're all friends in Astro. Does Nina have LiveStack? Nina has a plugin that can use PixInsight for LiveStack, but not natively. Oh, and yeah, by the way, something I forgot to mention, like if you have any questions for me about like your rig, your astrophotography, my life, Tokyo, Japan, paragliding, that kind of stuff, just ask me and we can have some fun. Mitch is asking, would you stay in Japan if you quit? Yes, yes, I would stay in Japan. Absolutely. So my wife is Japanese. She likes Japan. She likes being in Japan. And yeah, I mean, maybe at some point we would consider France. She speaks some French. I also happen to have US citizenship from my mother, which means, by the way, that every year I have to file taxes with the IRS, not FATCA, FBAR, all that kind of fun stuff. It's horrible, despite having never lived in the United States. And I cannot vote because I'm not attached to any state. So it's like taxation without representation. But that means I could go to the United States if I wanted to go there as well. Focus AG, Cuiv, just a quick question. Did you have the opportunity of checking the Scorpio narrowband 3 nanometer filters available on AliExpress? So that's a good question. I think you mentioned it or someone else mentioned it. So let's have a look. AliExpress.com. And we are going to go for Scorpio narrowband. Aha. Can I make this in English? Yes. Also, I totally blew my address. You can see my address. Fortunately, it's in Japanese, so not many people can probably read it. Scorpio. Again, Scorpio narrowband. Lachizar. Japanese are hot. I will stare at you for the next 5 minutes without saying anything. Okay, maybe not. So wait a second. Is that a whole set? No, that's only one. Let's see. Wait, is that a full set? Is that an SHO 3 nanometer full set for $400 US? That's actually... Okay, you know what? There's wait, is that 2-inch? That's 2-inch. It looks like 1.25 inch on the pictures though. Ah, okay, wait, that's the 36 millimeter set, and then the 2-inch set is only slightly more expensive. So 65,000 JPY is $420 US. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Yeah, this is the internet Cuiv. A flash of the address is enough. It's not the full address, and I've been doxxed before. So, oh, Luke! Sorry, Luke. Lucomatico. Luke from the Lucomatico channel is here. Hey, Luke! Welcome! I was saying it earlier in the stream. Big friend. Love Luke. And he's saying, hey, everyone, I hope you're all having a superb day / afternoon / night / whatever it is. Thank you, Luke. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. There we go. Cheap Astro, yes, you're right. I'll probably edit the stream in the end to blur that out. But it's just the general vicinity of my area. Oh well, it is what it is. And Luke cannot stay. Sorry, man. Thanks for clicking that like button. It really helps out. And oh, we have Akko, who introduced me to Touch and Stars, my recent video, and it's awesome. Oh wait, the latest beta of Nina has its own live stacking. Bill, welcome. Bill is, if anyone doesn't know Bill is amazing. He's done a lot for us. He's done a lot of awesome scripts for Pix Insights, made a huge difference, and with people like SETI Astro, so Frank from SETI Astro, huge difference. Going back to Focus AG, I had not looked at those filters. I did look at the Taupe Tech filters recently. So they have, probably in there, yeah, they have their SHO 36 millimeter narrowband filters, and the full set is $500 US. And those I've tested with my spectrophotometer, and they were perfect, except H alpha that was not quite well centered, but it was off center in the correct direction, if you see what I mean. Basically, with an f10 scope, you would have had like 80-85% transmission, and then the faster the scope, the better it became. So it was actually a very good off-centering of H alpha. So yeah, yeah, those Scorpio things, maybe I should buy those and test them out, because they are indeed very cheap. That said, if Taupe Tech would release those filters for just a slightly bit more expensive, but for 2-inch as well, it might make more sense to go with Taupe Tech, simply because they're a more established brand now than some random stuff on AliExpress. We have Blackstar from Blackstar Obzi. Again, I do not know how to pronounce Observatory. There it is. Pronunciation. There we go. It will teach me. Let's do it. I cannot hear anything. Oh, come on. Okay, I'll do it on my phone. Observatory pronunciation. There we go. It's gonna work.
Observatory.
Observatory. Does that work?
Observatory.
Observatory. Yeah, Cuiv teaches himself English live on stream. Will Jack blames Bill Blanchard for his addiction to creating various palettes. This is a legitimate complaint, criticism, absolutely. Astro Taka is asking, have you tried any ZW telescopes? If yes, what's your thoughts? So no, I have not tried ZW telescopes. The reason for that is that they are rebranded as car telescopes. As far as I know, there is no change whatsoever besides like the color scheme. And the ASCAR telescopes that they are a white label of, effectively, are apparently very good. But I don't think I've used any of those ASCAR telescopes. So long answer, no. Short answer, also no. And Bob, yeah, the Cuiv's filter spectrum analysis service could be a new revenue source as well. But I've done a little bit of that, actually. I've had people who were visiting Japan, and they came to my place, and I actually did the filter measurement there and then. But it's like I'm wary of that because I need to make sure that my spectrophotometer is well calibrated when I do that. And if it's off calibration, I need to do the calibration. I need my mercury argon lamp and the neon lamp to do that. It takes a bit of time, and I don't know. It's a good something that I've done a bit of. So yeah, Cuiv, I just came. Are you going to post a video about the new NXT, Noise Exterminator? So, oh, gotta go. Father duty calls. Have a great time. Luke, thanks so much for joining. Have a great time as well. So, guys, it seems the poll lasted for 10 minutes, and 44% are going for M78, with the runner-up being LD, 1235. So I'm going to just set up M78 so that we have it. So people tell me that the new version of NXT is insane. Oh, wait. M78, is it visible right now from Texas? M78. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna double check that, because maybe we voted for something that's not in the sky, or okay. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment, because I don't want to show you my. I've doxed myself enough already. Where's that? There. Okay. Boop. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment so that I can double check the coordinates that I have in the ASI Air. No, the coordinates are correct. It's visible. Okay, so maybe, okay. You know what? I think it's because the ASI Air, whenever you launch the app, it will take your own coordinates. And even though I changed them to the Texas coordinates, it's not working well. Okay, M78 is visible still 3 a.m. That's good. So otherwise, someone asked, someone asked something about, I forget, goldfish memory, guys, goldfish. Oh yeah, I had no idea. Did you send a remote telescope to Starfront? No, I did not. I stole Bray's telescope. And nebulae of our nebuloser. Dude, come on. In Tokyo, the only thing I can image are planets and emission nebulae. Come on, don't say that. Do you know how I can identify which narrowband filter was taken for a photo, was used to take a photo? No, I mean, you can identify which type of narrowband filter it was depending on the target. If you're looking at a known target, like the Heart Nebula is great for that. Like if you have an image of the Heart Nebula, sulfur 2, H alpha, and oxygen 3 are all extremely different. So that's awesome. Then you can check which it is. Some others, like Thor's helmet, H alpha and oxygen 3, at first glance, they look very similar. Sulfur 2 is very different. So it kind of depends. It's not the triple rasa. It is, I don't think Bray trusts me with that yet. It is his Red Cat 61 with the AM3. Let me actually make sure that I share my screen again so I don't forget. It's 7:43 in Texas, not visible till a bit later when dark. Okay, so we'll just wait for it to get dark. Pop. Roofs will open any second now. That's awesome. And of course we have Bray in the chat. This is super cool. Anyway, yeah, so people are telling me that NXT 3 is great. So I have some images I took recently of a jellyfish in space. So you know what, I can try that. Noise exterminator. No, come on, let me do blur exterminator first. Blur exterminator, huh? Because I have to. I mean, I gotcha use blur exterminator first. By the way, when I use those tools, it's possible that the stream falls a little bit because it uses the GPU. Okay, give me a sec, I need to drink something. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. Blur exterminator is taking too long, so you know what, we might not use noise exterminator because I'm worried it could kill the stream because my graphics card is being used for the stream, right? Let's see. I just set up my scope for imaging on the balcony, and here I am back inside and watching a stream of someone setting up their scope. Inception, right? Chris, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining as a member. Thank you so much for your support. Gonzalo is asking, what camera and focal length are you using? So I am using or abusing Braze scope, which is a Redcat 61 300mm focal length with a ZW ASI 2600mm Duo. So that's an APS-C IMX 571 monochrome sensor. There we go. Hopefully the stream is still up despite me trying to do some weird stuff to it. Yes, and I can hear myself. Oops, there you go. Much better. Okay, so while we're waiting, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to have a look at Yahoo auctions? I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the Japanese Yahoo auctions, but it can be kind of funny because you can find some really interesting stuff in there. All good for the stream. So the stream kept working while I was doing the blur exterminator thingy. Okay, so in that case, you know what? I'm gonna try noise exterminator with version 3. And what I'll do, those are drizzled data, so I'm gonna resample so we have a smaller data. This was taken, by the way, I believe, with the Minicam 8. If you guys haven't watched the video about the Minicam 8, watch it. It's a really, really cool camera. Let's see. Integer resample, there we go. Resample factor of 2. Yes. And let's try noise exterminator version 3. Oh, wow. Enable frequency. Wow, you can do frequency separation when disabled. Oh, that is so cool. You can have different levels of denoising based on the detail frequency, basically, in the image. Intensity and color separation. Enable. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? We're going to keep it simple for now. The KISS method, and I'm going to try to run it. Hopefully, the stream keeps working. Let me know if it fails somehow. I'll keep an eye on it at the same time. Extracting noise. So, let's see. Other questions. By the way, guys, throw in questions on the stream. It really helps because otherwise I'll be like wondering what to do because I don't have anything fun to do for you guys. And then I'll start to panic and then I'll start to spiral and then, you know, I will bug out and we'll stop the stream before the sky even gets dark in Texas. So help me out there. Ask questions. Has anyone seen a mono camera, filter wheel, off-axis guider, CAA setup? So to achieve that, it would be possible, I think, with a 585. So if you use a 585 MC Pro, you can remove the 11 millimeters thingy, so you have 7.5 millimeter of back focus. Let me write it down. So you get 7.5 millimeters of back focus on the camera itself, with the little adapter plate that is M48, but inside is M42. I think you have, let's say worst case scenario, 3 millimeters. So you have 3 more millimeters of back focus consumption. You have the 16.5 of the off-axis of the CAA. You have the 16.5 of the off-axis guider, and you have the 21 millimeter of the filter wheel, right? That's what we get. Okay, maybe we're back. Hopefully it goes back. Okay, let me know. Let me know if it gets better. Oh, Noise Exterminator has a real-time preview, so you can view the denoise in real time. That is awesome to know. Thank you. Hello from Sweden. At last, I have clear skies. Rosette and Iris are my targets for the night. That is awesome. Nugun Sven? Sven. I'll call you Sven. That works. Video frozen. Is it still frozen? Dang. No, I think it's working again. It's working again, right? Right? It keeps freezing. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Still lagging. It's better. Let's give it a bit of time. Good now? Okay. That's good. Okay, so lesson learned. Do not use NXT while you're on a stream. Okay, we're back. Whew. There we go. Well, that means I cannot do processing streams anymore, right? Back again. Okay. Hopefully it's, yeah, I think I'm looking at the stream as well. It seems that it's doing good. Thanks, guys, for having my back there. Cool. So NXT, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, dang. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Just sec. Is it inventing details? Give me a second. Are you inventing details? No, you are not inventing details. That is, wow. That's amazing. Oh my word. Oh wow. Sorry, I keep saying oh wow, but that's like, oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, that's very, very impressive actually. When I just realized maybe for the next live stream, what I can try to do is in my settings there somewhere, I have like the video stuff. I think maybe output, and yeah, I'm using my NVIDIA GPU for that. But I have an AMD processor and internal GPU. So next time I'll try AV1 for the stream itself, and then hopefully NXT, etc. can work. Have you knocked down the priority of PixInsight? No, I think PixInsight has like highest priority as always, but I'm a bit scared of. Yeah, I could use a separate computer, or I think because I have effectively two GPUs, I have the AMD GPU, and that's the computer, by the way. That's my computer. So it's not the most powerful computer. Yeah. So oh yes, we were talking about the CAA. CAA. Where's the CAA? Yes, we were talking about the CAA. The if you had the CAA plus an off-axis guider, what would be your back focus distance consumed? So I would have 64.5 millimeters of back focus consumed, which means that you would need a Petzval design, I would say. It probably would work with the Red Cat. It would not work with the SV555. It would not work with the SQA55. It would work with the SQA85. So there you go. It sounds possible. So PGC 5771 and T-God, I mean, the voters have spoken. I have to abide. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna end the poll, guys, because the M78 is clearly the winner there with 41% of the votes. We have 177 votes out of 251 viewers. So who abstained? Who dared to abstain? 177 divided by 251, that means we had 70% participation. That's actually really good. 30% abstained. T-God, I am sorry. The will of the majority has to be respected. We have Jed saying, I'm way out of my depth here and struggling to understand. I'm still coming to terms with my Dwarf 3, but already I'm looking at what I can get next. Okay, so I will tell you, Jed, this is probably the biggest, the most important thing about astrophotography, and you really need to take this to heart, is if you have a wife or girlfriend, make sure they are on board, or that they do not know. You cannot have both. The CFO is, I mean, I feel like you are teetering at the edge of the black hole. And so be careful, mate. Be careful. What filters do you have in that baby? Which baby? The Minicam 8 or something else? The one for this image? Just seen you online. Started to use Touch and Stars. It's great, real benefit, not needing to move the PC in and out of the house. Thanks for sharing. I mean, obviously the thanks go mainly to the developers of Touch and Stars who are working with the guys on Nina, so that and the developer of the advanced API plugin and all of the work. This is insane. It is absolutely insane that we as a whole community are benefiting for free for the work, the thousands of hours of work of skilled developers. I find this insane. And I do not, I mean, while I have contributed code to Nina, I do not consider myself a skilled developer. I don't understand what the spacers, etc. means, why it is so important. Okay, Jed, so that's a very good question. Basically, you have something called back focus for a lot of telescopes. So the Dwarf 3, you don't care, it's all integrated, everything's fine. But if you have a telescope that is, let's say, standard telescope, let's say you have the ASCAR V, it's a telescope that can support multiple focal lengths, or you have like the Carbon Star 150, a Newtonian telescope. Both of those, at the end of the telescope, you will get a focal reducer or a coma corrector or a field flattener or a combination of those. And this focal reducer, field flattener, etc., it has a specific focal length. It's in itself a lens, and it has its own focal length. And it dictates most of the time that the distance between the flange of your field flattener or your reducer or your coma corrector to the camera sensor should be exactly 55 millimeters. That's basically what this back focus distance is. And if you're using a camera lens, like a Canon lens, the distance between the flange of the camera lens and your sensor is supposed to be 44 millimeters. And some Canon cameras, Nikon as well, I suppose, they have like, you can actually adjust the distance from the sensor to the lens using micro steps so that autofocus works better. Yeah, basically you have this constraint in back focus. You have a fixed back focus distance between the back of your telescope and your camera sensor. And so you need to respect that. And if you buy like a ZW camera, a Toptech camera, a QHY camera, a Player One camera, all of those things, they typically come with adapters that when you plug them in, get you right out of the box your 55 millimeters of back focus. So then you don't have to think about anything. But the problem comes when you try to replace those adapters, which are spacers. They're just hollow tubes, effectively, that give you the space so you achieve those 55 millimeters. But if you replace those by something else, then yeah, you need to count the millimeters that you have consumed. And that's what I was doing here with this thing here. Like, my filter wheel uses up 21 millimeter of the distance. My off-axis guider is 16.5 millimeters thick. It's basically the distance that it increases from the telescope to my camera sensor. And you have some designs, Petzval designs, that don't really care about the back focus. You're good as long as you're in focus, but they still have a limited focus range. So you still need to be careful with them. So, there we go. Sky Alert says 4 minutes to open, so we're almost there. And if you're asked to choose a config for a beginner rig, all-in-one rig, what do you suggest? All-in-one rig, that's not a smart telescope, right? All-in-one rig that is not a smart telescope. For complete beginners, I would go with mount ZWAM3 probably, yeah, something like the ZWM3 or the Proxy Sky UMI 17 Lite, something like that. Then on top of that, my preference would be for the AM3, even though it's more expensive because it has better drivers, effectively. Even though the ZW mounts are also based on step. I think they should be releasing their code, but they don't. But whatever. It's also based on step. They did some good customizations that makes the Meridian flip much easier. So I would say AM3 as the mount, SQF55 as the telescope, and if you have the money for it, something like the ASI 2600 MC Air camera, which has like the ASI Air control center integrated, plus the guide chip integrated. And that covers, and then you add a ZWEF for focusing. That should cover, yeah, the gist of it. That would be like an expensive, but works out of the box beginner rig. If you are on a budget for a beginner rig, then either the SV555 or the SQF55 as your telescope. For a mount, that's where you should not be skimping. But if you need to skimp on a mount, you can go for, what is it, the name of that Skywatcher mount? Not the AZ GTI, but the Star Adventure GTI mount. And you can add to that a 585 style camera. So you could go with, if you want to use the ASI Air, you can go with the ZW version of the 585 camera. If you're going to use the soon-to-be released Astro Station or Stella Vita, which is just as easy as the ASI Air, you could go with any brand you like, basically. Okay, hopefully that helps answer this question. Why 55 millimeters? No 1/3 correction for filter thickness. So yeah, that accounts for at most 1 millimeter. So I was doing an introduction for Jed about back focus. I did not want to get into such details. ASCAR 71F. I have never tried it, so I don't know. Let's see, how much does it cost? Yes, Agena. Oop. $600. F7. Okay. Reducer. If you add the reducer, you're at, yeah, 800 roughly. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend 800 US dollars, personally, it's just my personal thing. It's I would go with the SQF55. I mean, yeah, I would go with, it's the same price as this with the reducer. It's a smaller aperture, sure, but this thing is exceptional. So yeah. Then roof is opening. The roof is opening. Up on the roof. Oh, there you go. It's still quite bright, but there we go. There we go. So should I be taking some flat frames right now? Because that's the thing. I've never really taken proper sky flats. I always used like the t-shirt method, and then, ooh, it would have to be very, very short for a flat frame. Let's see, 0.1. Any recommendations for a starter mono? Currently using a Nikon Z8 with an ASCAR V, unsure to go for the 2600mm or the QHY Minicam 8. Would you, okay, so that's a very good question, and you're looking at very, very different budgets there. Also, the 26mm is what, $2,000, and then you add the filters on top. Let's say add $500 more, so $2,500 at least, something like that in general. And yeah, I mean, the advantage is you can use it with the ASI Air. The disadvantage is it is like 3 times the price as a QHY Minicam 8. And with the QHY Minicam 8, right now it doesn't work yet, but the Toptech Astro Station will likely support it in the future, and it is just as easy to use as the ASI Air. Otherwise, we have I have some very personal questions there. AT God, please, no politics. Recent US. I don't want to talk about recent US elections, so let's avoid that. Then we have. Do you have an IMX294 OSC camera still? No, I do not. I do not have an IMX294. I hate that sensor. It's. I know there are workarounds to make it work, but I hate that sensor with a passion. So no, I do not have an IMX294 camera. Then PGC5771. Why do you hate galaxies so much? I love galaxies. What are you talking about? And how can a telescope an upgrade for a camera? A telescope can be an... Oh, okay, at Edwin. Okay, never mind then. Hi Cuiv, just tuned in. Imaging tonight from Great Neck Observatory in Ipswich, Massachusetts, I guess. Only 17 Fahrenheit here. Ooh, that sounds cold. On Lowers right now. Lowers Nebula. That's a cool target. Thank you for your great videos. Which filters are in the Red Cat 51? 61, sorry. That's a good question. I don't remember. Filter settings. So we have filter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember what filters those are, but they're likely, based on the exposures, I would expect luminance, RGB, H alpha. Likely. I don't remember. Let me check. Bray probably told me. And I forgot. Bray, if you're still here, let us know what the filters are. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, no. So it's not MM, it's MC. It's not a monochrome camera. It's a color camera. Sorry, I got like a bit confused. It is number 1 is luminance and number 2 is dual band, and we'll be using the luminance filter. There we go. Amp glow is the bane of my existence. Yeah, for the 294, the amp glow is bad, but at least it gets fixed fairly easily with good dark frames. What I don't like is the flat frames and how it is a bit annoying with dual band narrowband filters. What about IMX492 sensor? Well, the IMX492 is like the base of the 294, right? They're kind of the same thing as I understand it. So yeah. If you like galaxies, why would you image a nebula when galaxies are obviously superior? Are they though? Are they? I image a nebula because that's what we voted for. Good night, RWB here. Good night. Thanks so much for joining on the stream. Oh, and we have a DIY dark filter. There you go. Can you be more specific why you hate the IMX294 sensor? Besides the M glow, I only see advantages on him, even regarding the IMX571. Okay, so that's a complex question, so I'll go back to it in a moment, because Lone Monk, good evening, thanks for joining, and thank you so much for your support, 20 bucks. Lone Monk, if you just joined, by the way, I was saying that I'm planning on quitting my job, so yeah, probably Tuesday when I have my one-on-one with my boss. So yeah, thank you so much, that really helps a lot. So what was I... Yes, and that was an easy question to answer. What is the right way to pronounce SV Boni? Apparently, according to Trevor, it's Saiwei Boni. But I like SV Boni, so I'll keep using SV Boni. Then, what do we have? Edwin is leaving. It's 1 a.m. Thank you so much for joining, Edwin. Have a very good night. And what was I wanting to answer? Yes, so the IMX294, let me drink. I've been speaking a lot without drinking, so I'm gonna be right back. Get some water. This is hot tea, so not easily drinkable. I'll get right back. Normally you can keep hearing me, hopefully. So let me get some water. I need to hydrate. Hydration is very, very important. That's what my mom always told me, and my mom is always right. Heck yeah. Water. There we go. Water is love. Water is life. Phew. Much better. Here we are. Okay. So, oh man, just while I was getting water, Pete, again, everyone, please, big round of thanks to Pete gifting another 50 memberships. This is insane support, mate. Thank you so much for this. This is amazing, absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'm not saying you cannot get good results with IMX 294. What is happening with the 294 is that, okay, you know what? I'm going to open up a thread from a long time ago. 294 word of warning. That should come up. Boop, there you go. So this was in 2019, back in the dark ages of astrophotography. So let me yarn you a tale about the good old days of astrophotography. And here we have something very interesting. And I think the most fun thing is basically I had some very weird, I don't know if I still have those. No, the images are no longer available. But I had, whenever I was using a narrowband filter, specifically a narrowband filter that had a very narrowband bandpass in the red spectrum. And UHC is definitely not narrowband enough for that. But if you had like 7 nanometer or less in either H-alpha or sulfur 2, I would get some insane like pattern on the camera sensor that for me it looked like an infinity sign to some extent. And I was not able to calibrate it out with flat frames. It was, at the time, impossible to calibrate. And I took a picture of my camera sensor through an H-alpha filter, and you can see there's this weird shadow there with the infinity mark and a little hat on top of the infinity mark. That's what I had seen. And every single 294 camera, as far as I know, has something similar. Just the pattern shape is different. And that's how it looks like on a flat frame. So a flat frame with an H-alpha or a dual band filter with a very tight narrowband bandpass in H-alpha or sulfur 2 would get this. And frequently, if you're on forums, like the ZW Astrophotography forums on Facebook, like Facebook groups, that kind of stuff, you will see people asking, like putting a picture, an image with like a crazy red background, like weird pattern in the background. They don't say what their camera is, and everyone in the comment is like, oh, that's a 294 camera and you tried it with a dual band filter, right? Yeah, so it is possible to calibrate it out. And the way to do so, you need to make sure that you do not use bias frames and your flat frames are longer than 3 seconds long. If you respect those rules, apparently you'll be able to calibrate that out fine. If you use bias frames, it's the end of the world. If you use exposures less than 3 seconds long, it's the end of the world. And at the time, back in 2019, I was never able to calibrate this out because this technique did not exist yet. No one knew about this more than 3 second long flat frames thing. No one knew about the bias frames for the 294 yet. So I was kind of on my own, and yeah, it didn't work out. In the end, ZW, good customer support, they exchanged it for a camera that has the same price, which was the 183 monochrome camera that did not have any such pattern in narrowband. So there you go. That is the whole story there. Hopefully that helps clarify things and why I do not like the 294 sensors. I have a Sony a6400 APS-C, thinking about complementing it with my first Astrocam, a 585 MC, smaller pixels, more zoom. Well, zoom, exactly. You're right to put that in brackets. Would it be good to get into cooled cameras? Yes. I mean, if you're using a DSLR and you're upgrading to an astrophotography camera, if you go to an uncooled astrophotography camera, you will barely see any difference. With a cooled camera, you'll see a large difference. So yeah, definitely cold camera. Good afternoon from the west coast of British Columbia, Canada. I have been enjoying your videos on the Dwarf 3 and I'm wondering, have you started taking photos using the 2-minute exposures? No, I have not. The reason is pretty simple. I'm in Tokyo, right? Or actually right next to Tokyo in Kawasaki, technically speaking. I have to walk 500 meters, 5 minutes to get into Tokyo proper. Yeah, I'm in Tokyo. I have a lot of light pollution, and that means that even with short exposures, I am completely blasting the read noise of the sensor. So I don't really get any benefits from much longer exposures besides having to drop more exposures to stack in the end. So I don't use such long exposures. Oh man, there's been so many. Okay, first, Marvin, member for 27 months. Marvin, I know you've been supporting me for so long, but I did not realize it has been that long. You are amazing. Thank you so much for being on the stream and for supporting the channel. Cuiv, do you have any good method for cleaning filters? Maybe you could make a video about it. The last video I made about cleaning stuff, I had to delist it because people were not happy with my methods. So no, I will not make a video about cleaning filters. These days, I just use a mix of distilled water with IPA, and that's it. After, of course, using a blower to remove the dust from it. Hunter is asking, been waiting to switch to mono from OSC for the last several years. I currently use the 2600 MC Pro. What would you suggest? Would the Minicam 8? QHY Minicam 8 is probably the best introduction to mono right now. Otherwise, you can go with the Toptech ATR 585M together with the filter wheel and their SHO LRGB filter, but the total price is roughly twice that of the Minicam 8. Did you see that pattern in the 294 mono or just the 294 MC? I only had the color version, but I have seen images with the monochrome version that had that as well, which again, it can be calibrated out, but the knowledge at the time that I had that camera of how to calibrate out did not exist yet. So what's his name? The guy from AstroWorks. So it's kind of a YouTube channel affiliated with ZW. Did actually like did tests until it worked. Joao Pedro Silva is asking, for someone starting, what focal lengths do you recommend for DSO? I'm dividing between 250 and 420. The answer is, it depends. It really depends on the DSOs you want to get. And it also depends on the camera you're going to be using. So the only answer is really you need to look at the field of view that you'll get with your camera using things like astronomy.tools. And you know, I'm actually kind of working on a website that could help with that, but that's going to be for the longer term. I found the solution for that. The problem of the flats in the 294 and the 1600 mm with the micro lensing. The solution was to replace the AR window with a UV IR filter. That's very interesting. So the AR window was the one introducing the issue? Has any MacBook Pro users experienced crashes? I don't know, but maybe some others. No. The new QHY Minicam 8. Yes, there you go, Radu. We think the same. Oh wow, there's so much stuff going on, guys. I'm not catching up. Shoot the moon while it's twilight. Yeah, we could try it out. I have a 533 MC Pro, an EFW Mini attached to the Redcat 51. How would I add the CAA? So you'd probably need adapters to M48. Oh man, no, just I don't know. You would need to ask ZW directly about that. They probably would be able to answer you. So what is the problem gain range? And was that, Ardsley, was that with very narrowband filters? Because I was at unity gain, if I remember correctly. Also, it kind of is annoying to me that you could buy a camera that has like a gain available, except that you're told, oh yeah, by the way, don't use those gains because it doesn't work. That does not work with me. No, I don't like that. So yeah, I believe at the time, that was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Dang, it was 6 years ago. It was likely the Unity gain, so gain 108 that I was using. I struggle with my ASI 294MC Pro off and on, but I do get awesome image. It's a great pairing for the Samyang or Rokinon lens. So yeah, completely understand that. And it's awesome that you're able to get that. What tool do you use to reapply stretch stars to your liking? I don't stretch stars. I stretch the whole image, then remove the stars using Star Exterminator, and then place them back using the image blend script. Otherwise, yeah, you can double check my PixInsight like 3-hour course where I go through that thing. Oh, Marvin, you got around to ordering the SQ85. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of fun, mate. You're gonna, unless they have bad samples, but I have yet to hear of a bad sample in the wild. You're gonna love it. Okay, just upgrade to 2600. Good evening from the state of Maine, USA. Mark, welcome to the stream. Still wondering if I should wait and bite the bullet with a 2600 MC Pro or just start with a 585 MC Pro, 3 times less expensive. So I will say there's one big advantage that the 585 MC Pro has, and that is the sensitivity in the deep red. So if you look at the ASI 2600s, and that's the case for all of those 571 sensors. Oops. Oh well, I'm sure it will come up. There it is. So if you look at that, and if you look at the quantum efficiency on the curves, there it is. So this is the relative response, and this is like the absolute kind of response. So this would be for monochrome 585. And you can see when you go to H alpha, the quantum efficiency is only around 60%. Absolute compared to 90% for oxygen 3. And if you go towards sulfur 2, you're at like 54, 55%, right? So you're losing in terms of the quantum efficiency there. If you look at an AMX ASIMA 585 MC, hopefully we'll have the charts in there. The quantum efficiency, absolute quantum efficiency in the H alpha and sulfur 2 side of things, you can see in the red you're at 80+%, right? So you have a large difference there that can be an advantage. Obviously it's cheaper, but it's a much smaller sensor. But overall, in terms of when you look at the quantum efficiency, it's like, interesting. It could be something to look at. And I'm going so late. Oh man. So then any other fun stuff? We have north of Houston, Texas, C-Star S50 for a night of imaging. I love that. I've like the first time I featured a Dwarf 2 on the channel, I got criticized a lot for advertising some cheap crap on the channel, and I'm so glad that smart telescopes are really like helping people get into the hobby, and actually you can get great pictures with them. So yeah. Then Minicam 8 with an integrated guide cam would be pretty cool. I agree. Let's see. Was the poll truly fair in your opinion, since all the options were nebulae? No, it was not truly fair, but I picked 2 of the options at random, kind of based on what I like, and then pure chance, random number generator, picked the other 2 options. So it is what it is, mates. Sorab, good morning. No snow today. Yeah, I'm disappointed as well. So even in Saitama, no snow. That is disappointing. I am still not done with Stilt. Do you know why the 2600 MC Pro will strongly vignette on subshots and some others? No, I've never seen that. So I don't know what it is. You don't have like a flexible dew shield that could be moving in between exposures, do you? I don't know what this could be. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to skip some stuff. What tool? Oh, I already answered that. Andy of Astro has a video that explains the problem gain range. It starts at 120. You can measure it and avoid it. Just a sec. Are we talking about the 294 MC Pro? Does it even have a high conversion gain? Because as far as I remember, it does not have a high conversion gain. No, it does. You're right. Yes, you're right. You're right. So I was looking at the wrong camera, it seems. So I was at unity gain. So I was typically at 117. But that's weird. So wait, you cannot use the high conversion gain with the 294? So you cannot take advantage of the low read noise? What's the point? That cannot be right. Sorry, DSO Imager, $5. Thank you so much for your support, mate. Good to see you trying out Starfront. I have one of my scopes there. In addition to the dark skies, it is great imaging while traveling. Clear skies. Clear skies to you too. It's honestly, I was saying it earlier, I don't know what targets to choose because it's so nice, right? Okay, now what do we get? Cuiv, what's your opinion on Esprit? I have never used one of those scopes, so I have no idea, unfortunately. Joshua, C-Star S50 and get it now or Dwarf 3 and wait the long wait time. Wanting a new smart scope for travel and light use in my Bordeaux 6-7 backyard. That's a very tough question. I would say, like, apparently there's an equatorial mode for the C-Star S50 and S30 that is coming at the end of this month, according to ZWO Facebook groups. So the S50 might work well in equatorial mode, but I don't know, man. It's a really tough one. All I can say is you should check the video where I compared both and make your own decision based on that, because you change the field of view and you change the portability of it, and which is the sweet spot for you is really up to you and not really up to me. So I cannot really tell you whether you should buy the S50 now or wait for the Dwarf 3. Lucky number 7. Yes, that's probably it. My flat panel is attached to the dew shield. That could be it, mate. That could be your VIG knitting. Oh man, I'm a genius. Sorry about that. Are you saying you like both nebulae and galaxies? Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. Guillaume, coucou de France, merci pour ton travail, tu m'as beaucoup aidé à commencer ce hobby. Tout le plaisir pour moi. Je sais plus parler français, donc je vais le faire en anglais. Thanks so much, Guillaume. I'm glad this was all helpful. And really so cool to see you get into the hobby and that I helped out. Oh, Smasky, my ISS tracking attempt failed. The scope went crazy. Well, if you did not get a collision with the tripod, I consider that a win. So that's good. Huh. Interesting. A problem range. Oh, wow. That is weird, though. Okay. I think I'm all caught up on the questions. Let's see. Do we see anything? Are we still like... Oops. I picked the wrong window. Let's do... where's my ASI Air? Where's my BlueStacks ASI Air player? Give me a sec. I'm going to search for it with the screen off. Pop. Okay, the ASI Air window that I had is gone. It's gone. It's completely gone. Okay, so I need to restart that. So I'll do that without sharing my screen. Sorry about that. And I need to relaunch my ASI Air. And each time, it's interesting, it will default to my Tokyo coordinates. And I have to manually change them in two places to the Texas coordinates for Starfront Observatories. Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm playing with the ASIR app. And let's see. Nexi, what do you think? WYD. I'm about to run Burl 2 Skies. That sounds amazing. And Cuiv, you speak French and says hola, bro. So hola is Spanish, right? No entiendo castellano. But yeah, I do speak French. Yes. Bartholomew, I have two S50s and an S30. No regrets. The Origin, however, Celestron needs to work on their software a lot. Really, I had heard a lot of good things about the software actually of the Origin. So that's very interesting. We have still 30 minutes until nautical dusk. And Cuiv, have you ever come to Australia to view the night sky? So I've been to Australia, to Queenstown for work. And at the time, I did not bring my telescope. And yeah, it was a good time. I was there for 2 weeks, but unfortunately, I was in the town the whole time. So I did not see that many stars. I've been to New Caledonia at some points during the New Caledonian summer. And yes, there I looked at the night sky, but I did not have any telescope with me. And that was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm still, like, the ASIR app is trying to not work anymore. So I'm being asked, where are you originally from? I am from near Paris, France. Bob Jones is the best. True to his name, is telling us that he's better than all of us. Well, it has to be true. Someone asked about NXT again. Yeah, NXT, the latest version. Let me actually share my screen again for a moment. Just a moment. There you go. The latest version of NXT. This is the before, like that, and this is the after. And it is absolutely insane. And yeah, there is, if you have NXT, there is no reason whatsoever with that to use Graxpert or Deep SNR, because this is at least as good, probably better, and it's insane. The amount of details that it retains while completely removing the noise is incredible. Absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go back to me only, and I need to make the ASI work, but it refuses to work. Oh no, come on. Okay, I'm gonna restart BlueStacks. We're gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. It's gonna work. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to make this work at the same time. QQ, I know I will want a second scope to my Redcat 61 if the idea of collimation seems scary, but I want at least 900 millimeters and not to break the bank. Any suggestions? 900 millimeters and not break the bank. So when you're talking about 900 millimeters, if it's a newt, it will have to be a 10-inch newt, right? Or an f5, 8-inch f5 newt. That could work, but that could be insanely, you need a good mount for that, and you need to make sure you don't have a lot of wind where you are. If that works, if you're fine with that, I think that can work fine. Yeah, otherwise you need to be, you could look at a Schmidt-Cassegrain. So the Edge HD 800 with the f7 reducer is, I believe, 1,450 millimeters of focal length. So Bray, yeah, Bray. It's my own ASI Air app. Maybe I could try to run the ASI Air app from your PC, the AnyDesk one. Do you have BlueStacks installed there? No, you don't. So you know what I'll need to do probably is I'm gonna uninstall and reinstall the ASI Air app on BlueStacks because it refuses to launch. So yeah, you are going to need mods when you go full time, probably at some point. Okay, Robocop is asking, how do you add color to a black and white image? Is that a trick question? Because how indeed? Normally, maybe you mean like, how do you combine monochrome images to get a color image? If that's the case, then it's you can just take monochrome images through a red, then a green, then a blue filter, and then you have the red information in one image, the blue information in one image, and then the green information in one image. By basically stacking them on top of one another, you can get for each pixel kind of the more or less the average of the red information, green information, and blue information to get the RGB data, and you end up with a color image. So hopefully that was what your question was. Okay, so then Murphy's Law at work again. Absolutely. Oh yeah, oh Kieran, thank you so much for joining. Have a good morning, evening, night. I don't know where you are. I don't remember. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. We have Steven. We have PGC. What is the best film stock for astrophotography? I have absolutely no idea. I have never done film astrophotography. We have Steven, currently shooting with the Ascara 65 PHQ, the 2600 MC Air on an AM5N mount and getting amazing results. Thinking of getting a larger scope, 1000, 1500 millimeters. Which scope would you recommend? Probably the Edge HD 800 with reducer. It didn't work out for me, but it was my own fault because it's simply the seeing that I have from my rooftop and the wind that I have does not justify getting basically using such a long focal length. But besides that, and that's a me issue rather than a scope issue. So the scope itself, I think, was excellent. Also, yes, Space City Astro, you can manually colorize a monochrome image in Photoshop with curves. That's true as well, but it will colorize the whole thing, right? So it's sometimes used for solar photography, right? H-alpha solar photography. Okay, guys, sorry, while I'm talking, I'm trying to uninstall the ASI Air app, and I'm going to be reinstalling it from scratch on the BlueStacks emulator. And once that's done, hopefully, we'll have access to the telescope at Starfront Observatories again. So give me a second while this is ongoing. ASI Air install. Let's see. Locking color for the dew shield is now 3D printing on the 3D printer. I love 3D printing. You can do so much stuff with it for astrophotography. So we're installing the ASI Air app. I'm actually going to share my screen again just so you can see more or less what I'm doing. So we are waiting for this to install, and I hope it's going to work this time. Except that it no longer installs. Oh, come on. Why? Why you do this to me? We can try something else. If it doesn't work on BlueStacks, what I can do is install TeamViewer host on my phone, then use TeamViewer on my computer to connect to my phone, and from my phone I will connect to the ASI Air in the Texas Starfront Observatories. But let's let it do its stuff. Maybe it's gonna work. Ruman is asking, I saw your review of CAA. Did you measure the backlash? I did not precisely measure the backlash. I just saw that with random rotations all over the place, both the guiding in between, even after a rotation, and the flats, even after a rotation, multiple rotations, and then coming back, seemed to work fine. Frank Samiz, you're saying Windows, but no, this is not Windows. This is BlueStacks. This is an Android emulator. So it's really not about Windows here. Lone Monk, I recently picked up a set of 50mm filters with a camera, but already have the same filters in 2-inch. Which would you keep and why? Well, I've never used 50mm filters, and I never had, like, I don't think I had are these the square 50mm filters or the round 50mm filters? If you have a filter wheel that supports your 50mm filters, I would probably keep those because they would work, in theory, if they're identical, they should work just as well, and they might have slightly less vignetting, just in case. And yeah, you're right, Stan. It's not working because I am live. Okay, I'm going to open up the ESIR app. I'll let you know if it works. I think it's going to immediately display. Oh, nope. It really doesn't want to work on the BlueStack emulator. Brian, any chance you could put into layman terms how to set my offset correctly in my Player One Uranus C video? I watched your video and still feel like it's wrong. I'm not sure how I can put it more clearly than in the video. So basically, it's about you cover your camera or you cover your telescope. You make sure no light can reach your sensor. You cool your camera down. You take a short exposure, let's say 1 second, and you see if you have any pixels with a value of 0. If you do, you increase your offset, and you keep doing so until you don't have pixels with a value of 0. That's pretty much all there is to it. I'll try to open it up again. Oh, it could work this time. So if it does work, it's going to display my coordinates. So I'm going back to my camera. But yeah, Graham, you're absolutely right. This is why it's better to use Windows PC/Nina on a remote installation. It's true that if you don't have to rely on an emulator, it does make things easier. In the meantime, I'm launching the ESIR on my smartphone, and I have also the OpenVPN on my smartphone. So with the OpenVPN and the ESIR on my smartphone, I might be able to launch TeamViewer to connect to my smartphone and therefore to share with you the ESIR. We'll see. Let me do as suggested. I will create a new BlueStack machine and start from scratch, basically, which means I'll need to I'll need to again register my Google account there. Ugh. It's not going to be fun, but I'll do that. I'll share my screen again because it is not working, definitely. So we want Android 11. Next, high memory allocation. That looks fine. Balanced. Yeah, should be fine, right? Creates. And this one doesn't even want to stop. That's bad. And now we've lost AnyDesk. It feels like everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Oh man, that is horrendous. So now we're trying BlueStacks again. No need for BlueStacks. So yeah, the Windows subsystem for Android is going to be discontinued, right? As I recall. So I didn't want to rely on that. Okay, I have my new instance, and now I will need to log into my Google account. So yeah, that's the lesson. Do not be ready for a live stream with your ASI Air app ready. You should do it during the stream. Yeah, if I reboot the PC though, I'll lose the live stream, and I'm not sure if it's going to be easy to start up again. Aha, good idea. So you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm gonna just kill BlueStacks. Completely kill BlueStacks. BlueStack Services. Vous êtes le maillon faible. Au revoir. And no, I don't want to install any desk. Any desk is dead. Everything is dead. It's beautiful. So now I have killed BlueStacks. I will try to relaunch BlueStacks after properly killing it. Even now, it still tells me that I have those instances on. I don't know, man, Atigod, what you were saying. So yeah, maybe I do need moderation, but I simply trust you guys. So Bob Jones is the best. Astro Biscuit is an awesome YouTuber. Come on. He's like, his production values are insane. Like really, really good stuff. Okay, so now I'm just gonna try from scratch, signing in, doing everything to get that done. So give me a sec. Sorry about that, by the way. It's like, of course it's going to go wrong because we're live. So sign in. Is there, like, apparently I should have moderation in the chat. Is there some really weird stuff going on? Space and Things is saying that they are at Starfront aggressively licking my rig. But it's Bray's rig, and he's gonna go and kick your butt. Okay, give me a sec. I'm basically getting my Google account set up on BlueStacks. Come on. Yes, it's me. Okay, I'm getting somewhere, guys. I'm getting somewhere. I'm not going to... We have Bad Donkey. What's up, guys? What's up? Stan, yeah, you do need mods. I mod on Chuck's channel and trolls are everywhere. It's really disappointing, actually, because by and large, this hobby is, like, the community here is amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. And I don't know, it's depressing to think that in this area, you would need mods. Yeah, Stan, let me know if there's anyone I should just like remove from the chat. Because yeah, I've been trying to make the ASAR app work on my PC and not been, putting too much attention on the chat itself. Malcolm, hi Cuiv. I was just wondering, are all red, green, blue filter the same for different brands, or do they allow more or less photons through in different colors as well? So the ones that I've measured with my spectrophotometer including from unknown brands, seem to be all relatively similar. But yeah, I haven't really seen such differences really between different brands. But maybe there's something. Maybe the anti-reflection coatings are better on one brand or the other, that kind of stuff. Bob. Make me a temp mod. So let me, okay. Pop. Okay, Stan, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. You're on. Because, yeah, apparently there's some weird stuff going on in the chat. I did not expect that. I've done multiple live streams before, and it's the first time. So, yeah, thank you so much, Stan, for looking into it. Okay, we are currently installing the ASIR app. We're at 89%, so we're almost there. Antlia V Pro have a sharper blue cutoff. Interesting. I'm always wondering, like, in practice, how well it's going to work. Okay, Bray, is it the same ID? Okay, I might be able to access Bray's computer that may have the ASI app running. Yeah, in BlueStacks, actually, Bray, you actually need to install to log into the Play Store and install the ASIR from there. But I have some good news. I am, after reinstalling the ASIR app, it seems that I am getting somewhere. So we might be able to get it working again. Give me a second, we might get there. Whew. Wait, I could run my scope on PC with BlueStacks. If you have the SIR, yes, I do think you will need to set up a device IP. So I need to find the IP for the ASIR somewhere. There it is. Boop. So I'm doing it off screen because otherwise, like, you have tons of stuff that would leak that I don't really want to leak. Oh no, it's not 0. Dang. Nice. There it is. Okay. Give me a second. You can connect. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm gonna show you how terrible I am at astrophotography, at least with the ASIR. Did you guys know that this no result? You have 2 no result messages on the ASIR when you're trying to connect to it, and we have a scan button next to the one on the right. And I always thought that both of those things were the same thing. But actually, this no result here is also clickable or tappable. And when I click it, you can actually put in an IP address. So if I go ahead and tap this, pop, now we can put an IP address. So I'm going to hide my screen while I'm putting it in. But this is something that until recently I actually did not know you could do in the ASIR. Okay. Apparently I have disappointed you, PGC. I'm sorry about that. And okay, we're mostly back. So now I have to go through the tutorial of the SIR. Give me a moment. We're almost there. And then I have to go in the mount settings of the SIR and set up the correct coordinates to the Starfront Observatories. So give me a sec to do that. We're almost there. Okay, confirm. We're Almost there. Starfront is at 31 degrees north, 32 minutes, 51 seconds. Okay, I think we're good. Whew. We're there. Okay, yeah, so apparently when you use BlueStacks with the SIR, it can cause issues with some networks, but at least now it seems to be working. So I'm going to take a 1-second exposure, see what happens, and hopefully it will work. We might even see stars. Trevor Williams is saying that I just showed my phone password, but no, I don't think I did. Okay, we see stars. Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys. Oh yeah, I doxed the Starfront Observatories. Sorry about that, Bray. So Lone Monk, the target that people voted for is M78. So that's what we're gonna go with. And right now we're not quite in focus, but let's see, can the ASIR actually autofocus from such a position? We could try it out, see if it's gonna work out. Ari Sky, we decided on M78 as the target, although we do have some people complaining about that because galaxies are apparently superior. Hello, Jacques Loveridge, and immediately the message is gone. So we are shooting one-shot color via a luminance filter, and we are now trying to do some autofocus. We'll see if it's going to work out fine. I'm getting, oh yeah, I think it's actually detecting properly. We're getting some points that are on a line. So right now in Japan, it is 10 a.m. and we are in the future. Jacques, hey Cuiv, do you think there are any new software, Skywatcher imaging refractors coming soon? I've heard they aren't restocking them after they sell out. I actually have no idea. So I cannot really answer this. Sorry about that. Hunter, that is so interesting though, that the 10.0.0 type of networks would not work, but 992.168 would. I would not have thought that, so that's really interesting. We have Reaper 1858. Hello, just started in the hobby, but having issues with my HEQ5 mount slewing to completely weird directions. Is there a good way to isolate possibilities to troubleshoot? So if your mount is slewing to weird directions, it can be that your mount coordinates are not set up properly. Your time zone in the mount is not set up correctly. You could have your home position is not set up correctly either. So one of those is typically an issue. And otherwise, I'm not sure, but it also depends if you're trying to control it directly from your hand controller or you are trying via like EQ mod or Green Swamp server. And we have Aditya, 1 a.m. in the UK. Go to bed, man. Although tomorrow is Sunday. I mean, today is Sunday, right? So you can sleep in, I hope. In Quebec, it is minus 22 degrees Celsius. Oof, indeed. Oh yeah, the Star Adventurer GTI. How does it fare at minus 22 Celsius? Matt Brandt is asking, hi Cuiv, hope you're well. What is your thoughts on using the SQA55 with the SV Boni SV220 and you're using an unmodded Canon 7D? So if you were using a modded camera, I would say no problem whatsoever. It's going to work out fine. But if you're using an unmodded camera, well, it's going to still work, but you're going to just get like 25% of the signal in H alpha. Sorry, so it will work, and it will get you, if you're in a light polluted city, better results than without the filter, but it's not optimal. But I think it's fine. Do you think ZW might cave in and open up its ecosystem a bit with the rise of alternative systems like TopeTech and maybe SV Boni? So I think if and only if those systems become a threat to the SI Air, will we see potentially that coming. Otherwise, I don't think ZW would open up. And the autofocus, by the way, worked beautifully. And we have William Russell, $5. Thank you so much for your support. It really, really helps out. And for galaxies, you need a long focal length scope. But thinking to try 2.5 Barlow on 416mm refractor makes the scope slow, requiring longer integration. Thoughts? So Barlows, my impression of Barlows is that they're, and that's in Japanese, as we said, 勝手な感想なんですけど、it's it's not, there's the word, not substantiated opinion, but that most Barlows are not really made for imaging with anything that's a large sensor. So I would expect Barlow imaging to have issues in terms of star shapes as long as immediately as you're off optical axis. And I don't know for sure because I've been told when I started that Barlows are bad for astrophotography, for deep sky astrophotography. So I've never actually tried them for deep sky. And yeah, I would say try it and let us know the results. My gut instinct tells me don't do it, but also when you have poor quality skies or it's the full moon or something like that, that's the time to do experiments. And that sounds like a cool experiment. I actually don't even own a Barlow these days, but it would be a really cool experiment. So otherwise, PGC 5771, you keep pushing on galaxies, but you know, my only image to ever receive a prize, kind of, was a galaxy image. It was Leo's triplets, and it got the ASI week at some point, I think. Yeah, so I do like galaxies. And no worries, William. Thank you for your support. And it's always good to get questions like that. Anyway, we have Twilight, so I'm gonna search for a target, M78, the Casper Ghost Nebula. I have never imaged this. So hopefully, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment. I'll double check the telescope coordinates because I want to make sure it's not gonna like slew into the tripod or something like that. Give me a second. Yes, we are in Texas. We're not in Kansas anymore, guys. And I can share my screen again. Boop. There we are. M78. M78. There we go. Go to. And I'll try to go to any desk again. So I don't want to reveal the identifier that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go back to this. Give me a moment. Okay. So I'm gonna access some AnyDesk. Wait, don't I have the app installed? Just a moment. We're getting this figured out, guys. We're getting this figured out. Okay. PGC, I would appreciate if you stop going on with the galaxies. It would help out because I like galaxies, but they're not superior. They also have nebula in them. It's all good. We all love one another. Everything is fine. Okay. So I am. Let's make sure I'm not sharing my screen. I am not sharing my screen. That is good. And I am going to connect to a PC that should have, again, a camera pointed at the telescope so we can see what's going on there. Please wait for the remote site to accept your session request. So I need you to accept the session request. Boop. Then I have a question, Cuiv. What is your favorite Messier object? That is a good question. I don't know what my favorite Messier object is. The first one that comes to mind is the Whirlpool Galaxy. I don't know why. And it's followed closely by the Pleiades. Because I think the Pleiades is such a beautiful object, even with the naked eye. You can see that, like, even from Tokyo, on good nights, you can see that weird kind of it's like almost like it's blurry. Those blurry, like, bunch of stars there. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, okay, anyway, let me start showing my screen again. Pop. There we go. And we are, guys, on M78. So, Jan is now calling me a traitor. How can my favorite object be a galaxy? Come on. Come on, the Whirlpool Galaxy is amazing too. It's beautiful. And it is also, as Wheeljack is saying, it's one of the very first DSOs that I captured at the time with a Meade LT6 telescope. Oh man, Meade being gone is such a shock to me. Let's see. What is the astronomical twilight in Rockwood, Texas? So, guys, by the way, just for anyone who's joining here, we are using an ASI Air that is connected via VPN to a telescope that is in a super dark area in Texas. This is Starfront Observatories. It is an amazing spot. And if you were ever considering, like, hosting your own telescope somewhere, Starfront is a great place for that. And we're going to try them out today. So today I am borrowing Bray Falls rig at Starfall. This is with a RedCat 61 and an ASI 2600 MC camera and a luminance filter. So it's a very, very dark area. And I noticed recently, actually, when I went to High Point Scientific, and if you search for Starfront, it pops up like that, Starfront Observatories, and they actually, you can choose your rig, and I think they ship it directly to Starfront, which is super cool. Yeah, it's it's really a cool solution. As far as I can tell, it is not, like, it's not cheap, but it is cheaper than other remote obsies, as far as I can tell. Stan, thank you so much, by the way, for your work. Cuiv, what made you move to Japan? It was a woman. I shall not say more about it. It did not work out. So we are about 36 minutes to astronomical darkness, but even so, I'd want to get an exposure just to see what we get right now. So let me go to the guide stuff, and we have to go through the tutorial because I had to reinstall the app. I know, guy. I know, man. And there we go. We have some stars already. You know what? I'm going to clear the calibration and redo the calibration from scratch. Just because I want to. And Bray is indeed agreeing. We are the cheapest. And Bray, I was saying earlier, like, we need you to make something in the southern hemisphere. I would love to have access to those super cool nebulae in the south. That would be so cool. Otherwise, in Europe, someone was asking for a remote OBSI in Europe. So I was talking with Mehdi a while back, French guy, super awesome dude who was building an OBSI in Morocco. In some amazing mountains in Morocco. I don't remember the name of that, but if that's still available, that would be a recommendation. They were using Takahashi telescopes, but it was not your own rig, it was getting access to their rig, something like that. Otherwise, yes, Spain stuff is good. I guess something in Chile would be nice as well. Yeah, I mean, the chat, by the way, Stan, again, thank you so much. This is getting a much quieter. So thanks so much for that. I never had that on one of my live streams, but then I think I don't know how many people are on the stream right now. Let me check on YouTube. How many people are on my stream? 300, more than 300 people. I never had that many people. It's unexpected, and I never saw such activity on the stream. The OBSI in Morocco has no free spots. I'm very up to date with all Europe-friendly options. Okay, Jan, sorry about that. Like when I accessed it remotely, it was absolutely amazing. But the Starfront is amazing. When I get the AnyDesk running again, let me. I don't want to show the AnyDesk numbers, so I'll go away from my desktop. Yeah, Bray, I'm trying to connect to the AnyDesk that you have set up, the new one. But I am getting that you need to approve the connection. If you still have the old PC running, I can try to connect to it as well. Just let me know what you prefer. Yeah, it seems you're right that mods are... Oh, wow. Sorry, we are interrupting this program because Chuck is in the chat. Chuck, welcome. Chuck is I think, the OG of live streams for astrophotography. Super cool guy. Love you, Chuck. If you have not watched his channel, you should. He has amazing shorts and this is my personal favorite, his older long-form videos with the bloopers at the end. They're delicious. They're absolutely awesome. So go and check Chuck's astrophotography channel. Amazing channel. Thanks so much for joining, Chuck. And we have a donation, £20. Thank you so much, Matt, for your support. This is amazing. A little something for answering my question. And an add-on to my last question. What ZW cameras would be a good all-rounder for the SQF55 as I am aiming for large nebulae and stuff like the Horsehead? So let me drink a bit. So to give you an idea, this is the Jellyfish Nebula on the SQF55 with the IMX585 sensor. Very small sensor. And obviously, even with that, you can frame the Horsehead quite well. You can frame the Jellyfish quite well. You can frame Orion quite well. You can frame a lot of things quite well. So already with that, that works out quite well. At the same time, if you want a larger field of view, Then the 571 sensors, so whether it's the 2600 MC Pro or Duo or Air, they were great. But I like the 585 because of the small pixels. And to me, in terms of pixel scale, it's the best match I can get, at least with the current crop of cooled astrophotography cameras that you know that works so well with the SQF55. So if you are okay with a smaller field of view and a cheaper price, is the 585 base cameras would work well. If you need more field of view, then it's the 2600 MC that I would recommend, or MM. Pick your poison between monochrome and color. And again, thank you so much for your support. Then there's some other suggestions about remote obsies in Europe, but in the US, I mean, for a cheap obsie, definitely Starfront. Have a look at them. I've already imaged multiple nights on it, and it's so nice. Also, Brave. Something that I really liked is that Brave has videos about all you need to send your rig and to make sure you have all of the equipment you need to connect to it remotely in their obsie. So it's like a step-by-step guide that's super complete and super well done. Then we have a T-God. What is your favorite Galaxy? M51. The child. The child. So, oh yeah, let me explain that. M51 in Japanese, it's called the Komochi Ginga, which literally means the galaxy with child, rather than the whirlpool. So when I say the child, I mean the little tiny galaxy at the tip of the arm of the bigger one, at least from our perspective. Jacques is asking, what do you think of Noise X versus Deep SNR? I never liked Deep SNR because it invents stars unless you do some very annoying pre-processing of your data. And Noise X seems to achieve just as good results without the fuss. This is before Noise X, after Noise X. Again, before, after. This is the V3. It's absolutely amazing. I've only used it on this image live on the stream, though, so I haven't tested it with a lot of images, but from what I can tell, it's absolutely amazing. Someone is already suggesting to do a 585. Yeah, an APS-C size 585 would be awesome. I agree. Absolutely. Grogu, isn't that Baby Yoda? Then the version 3 of NXT is absolutely amazing. From the single image I've tested it on for now. Okay, so let me we're not yet at astronomical darkness, but I can take a 5-minute exposure just to see what happens. There we go. 300 seconds. Let's do it. Let's try it out. Let me check the status of AnyDesk. Okay, I'm on AnyDesk. And we are good. So is there sharp cap on that one? Okay. Just a sec. Let me talk to Bray because okay. Okay, the ASI Air is running. Okay, I'm telling Bray the status. Is the SharpCap PC still available? Okay, I'm not sharing my screen for a moment because I'm connecting to various computers. So give me a second. I'm going to close the session and just a moment. Okay. AnyDesk. Where are you, AnyDesk? It's like whenever you have some remote stuff and you have a live stream going on. I can tell you it's a lot of work. It's a lot. There. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully I can show you the telescope on SharpCap. Otherwise, what is going on? What are your thoughts on Ogma cameras? So Ogma cameras, they're basically just rebranded TaupeTech cameras. I love the TaupeTech cameras that I've used, and I think I'm kind of responsible for making TaupeTech popular in the hobby with my initial videos on their cameras back when they were only available on AliExpress. And Ogma cameras, it's basically TaupeTech, but you get the local US support. So I really like them. I also have a coupon for Ogma cameras. If you check any of my descriptions, there's a coupon code for Ogma cameras that gives you a small rebate on them. So it's just TaupeTech with local support. Okay, and we have, okay, I have the AnyDesk PC that is working. Everything is working, guys. Knock on wood. Pop. Streaming, and that is, look at this. This is a SharpCap 30-second exposure, I think, right now, with our telescope pointing to M78, and we're not even at astronomical darkness. What is this devilry? Isn't that completely insane? You should get a second screen. It would make everything much easier. I agree, but I feel like with a second screen, I would actually probably get confused between screens. So I prefer to just completely stop sharing the screen when I have stuff that I don't want to show. So Kenneth, yes, the SIR I'm controlling is at Starfront. So we have the SIR app running on BlueStacks in Windows with an OpenVPN connection to Starfront Observatories. And then we have an AnyDesk connection to a SharpCap interface that is capturing the scope that is currently pointed to M78. And we are taking, as we are speaking, a 5-minute exposure. This is insanity, absolute insanity. And I love it. And the camera, give me a sec. The camera, Bray told me it is a 662 MC camera on the SharpCap camera. So we have question. Hi Cuiv, greetings from Germany. Why don't you own a Takahashi telescope? High-end quality and quite cheap in Japan in comparison to the prices in Europe. That's a very good question, and there's two reasons. When I started, they were too expensive for my blood. Even now, they're too expensive for my blood, even in Japan. But at the same time, I was looking at the reducers. I was looking at there seemed to be a Takahashi standard that is not the same standard as other brands. And I felt the same about Borg, by the way. Like you needed those adapters and you need to kind of be in the Takahashi ecosystem. And that kind of annoyed me. So I didn't buy a Takahashi telescope. And these days, after my test of the SQA85, I'm convinced that you can make do with non-Takahashi telescopes and still have amazing quality. And I've never tested the FSQ85, but I wouldn't be surprised if the ASCAR SQ85 is actually better. So I don't know. Okay, we're getting the result of a 5-minute exposure. And there we have M78. We're not even at astronomical darkness. This is a single exposure. Oh, and we are now actually, I'm told astronomical dark is now in Texas. So we have this. We have the guiding at 0.37 arc seconds. Arc seconds. We have an insanely beautiful night sky here. Absolutely crazy stuff. This is the Starfront Observatories. Absolutely amazing. I will say, my only trouble is I don't have a flip, like the closable flat panel. I don't know how to take sky flats. I've never really taken sky flats. I was always using the t-shirt method. And so I feel like if I were to send my own rig to Starfront, I would likely buy those flat panels that can go over the aperture with just a flip of a switch, just so that I could take my flat frames in a way that I'm used to. And yes, this is a single 5-minute exposure. And we get the satellite trails that I don't know if it's the satellite orbits that are different, or if it's just that there's so much less light pollution in Texas, but I never get as many trails in a single 5-minute exposures in Japan. And this is like astrophotography with cheat codes. But what is super cool is that right now I'm borrowing someone else's rig, but you can send your own rig. I mean, look, all of those rigs there, they're normal people's rigs. And all of those guys, they're not imaging right now. It seems, oh no, they are. No, they are the home position. So they're not taking advantage of this sky. I do see a little bit like some thin clouds seem to be in the sky. So we don't even have like the highest quality. So Stan, I want to send a rig to Starfront. My problem is that every rig I have is precious for the channel, because I never know when I'll have like a piece of equipment that I've sent to Starfront, and then for the purposes of a review, I need it somehow to compare or to use this specific camera with this particular telescope, that kind of stuff. So I want to, but if I do, I think I would need to buy one from scratch, actually, just so I don't regret sending it to the US. So I might just go like for the high point scientific stuff, right? So just like buy the darn rig, all pre-built, and call it a day, you know? Yeah, it's... So yeah, so many. I mean, I'm surprised by the amount of satellite trails that I'm getting, because I don't see that many in Tokyo. And again, it could either be our orbits, or it could be simply the light pollution that hides the satellite trails. How do the scopes get covered if you don't have a motorized flat panel for your scope at Starfront? So they do not get covered, but they close the roof, right? So that's what's happened. That's what happens. And but again, if you want to have like your own cover, that works fine. What if you have a malfunction? Is there a person there to rectify it? Yes, actually, we had a malfunction earlier in the stream, where there was a cobweb on the side of the telescope, and Bray actually came and fixed it, removed the cobweb. But yeah, they have staff on spot and a Discord server to go and fix stuff. And it's insane. They have like 8 roofs now. And how many rigs do you have set up, Bray? A completely insane amount. Stan, again, thank you so much for your help on this stream. And yeah, exactly as Jonathan is saying, the vast majority of dust is going to be when you're actually open to the elements, right? And indeed, you have a Discord channel for Starfront where you have all of the information. So I can actually show you that. Give me a moment so I make sure there's no like weird sensitive information in there. Okay, so let me share this. Give me a sec. Here we are. So you have like a Discord like that, with the status of the roofs, like opening, closing, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's an insane amount of rigs that are in there. It's absolutely it's very impressive. Let me just say that, very, very impressive. And if anyone is on this Discord and you know you're being streamed, say hi, YouTube. Yeah, I kind of hope that after I go full time, I could actually visit and say hi, like physically. I'll see. I'll see what I can do there. Okay, so I'm fine with discussions as long as they don't go like in a loop or they're very much insisting on galaxies versus nebulae. That kind of stuff I could pick up on a discussion. Questions are very good as well, but just like insisting on the same point over and over and over and over again can be detrimental to the stream. And now we have some are you hiring questions there. Okay, so I think we're basically at astronomical darkness, more or less. Maybe not quite, but I'm going to assume we are. And I guess the time is to go for an auto run on M78, right? So, M78, auto run. Yeah, I mean, look at that. This was a 300 second exposure, and the histogram is very much on the left-hand side with an average of only 1000. That means that with a luminance filter, I can take 600 second exposures. So I can, yeah, definitely 600 second exposures. M78, until what time is M78 roughly at a nice altitude? Let me open up Sky Safari on my phone. Give me a second. Okay, so let's see. Wait, my horizon is no longer visible. Come on. So M78, until what time is it above 30 degrees? Okay, never mind. Sky Safari is giving me issues because of course it's giving me issues. Bill is saying the staff at Starfront is awesome. I highly recommend them. Another benefit to using Starfront, lots of clear skies. And Texas has great seeing conditions. Yeah, I mean, the guiding numbers, let me tell you. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you the guiding numbers. 0.34, I do not get that in Tokyo. Definitely not. Maybe in the middle of summer when the seeing is not as horrible as usual. But otherwise, I never get this. Shouldn't you be doing a live stack instead of an auto run? Ah, yes. Live. There we go. So live, I'll select bin 1, lights. I don't know if I have flats that actually work. Let's see. Do we have some flats that are more or less recent? 2024? Maybe not. So no flats. Do we have bias that are more or less recent? Because I haven't taken any bias frames with it yet. Also June. Okay, I'm gonna leave it be. No bias, no flats, no calibration, no nothing. And we are going to save each frame while stacking. Stack duration will be no limit, and the exposure length will be 600 seconds. This is gonna be fun. Save. And I'm going. Did someone step near my rig? Ah, yes, there it is. the ghost of the rig, like messed with the rig, and therefore we have a spike in the guiding. We're watching you, Bray. The guide chart is watching you. Okay, so let me. I think the live is okay like that, and let's start. Let's see what we get after 10-20 minutes. Question from Jacques. How often will you refresh bias frames? I refresh them roughly every 6 months. But the thing here, though, is because this is not my rig, I'm not even sure whether the bias frames in this particular ASI Air are the ones that were taken with this camera, right? So I don't want to risk it. Bray is standing right next to the rig, looking at it. I don't know if it will allow you to do live stack without calibration frames. I think it will. Yeah, I think it will. Come on, Bray. Look at that. Look at what you're doing. Look at this seismograph. Oh, can you dither with live? Yes, I think you do. And let's double check the dithering settings. And we are dithering by 10 pixels every exposure. So it should be good. By the way, did we get some high YouTube on the Discord? Hi YouTube. We did. That's awesome. Sorry, Bray, if I'm messing up with your Discord. And Bray's there again. Oh, it's the same bias frames. This is Bray. This picture is slightly horrifying. I love this. What kind of details can we pull out if we stack Bray? That's a very good question. Right now I'm taking 600-second exposures. Can I oh yes, cool. I can tell it to use a bias. I would need to stop the session and throw out. Okay, you know what? Bray tells me it's the bias frames taken with the same camera. So I'm just gonna do a bias. I think we should do a stack first. And then, like, you know, do the stack within the ESI Air, and then we can take a master bias, but I'm far too lazy for that. I am doing jumping jacks by the scope. It's good for blood circulation. And it doesn't want to find bias frames anymore, so I stopped the exposure for nothing. You know what? We're gonna do no calibration whatsoever, and just leave it be. Keep it simple, right? That's the name of the game. That is such a beautiful sky, guys. This is a 30-second exposure on an all sky camera type of stuff. Bias frames won't do anything unless you also have flats for the live stack. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So otherwise, Jeffrey, like 10 minutes exposure. I mean, for those strain wave gear mounts like the EM3, M5, Proxy Sky, Skywatcher Wave, what else? The WD20, WD17, etc. All of those mounts, they can easily achieve 10-minute exposures with very good guide figures, guide numbers. If you don't have wind, like there where it's shielded from wind and you have good seeing, you'll see really good results. So right now we have at 0.5, and that's the worst we've seen all evening. And it seems we have like the RA getting into resonance. Maybe I should lower the RA aggressiveness. Can I lower the RA aggressiveness on the guide settings? Yes. So maybe I'll set it up to like 75%. See what happens. There we go. Ha! Take a 180-second exposure of the all sky cam and process it while we were waiting. I would need to find a way to download the image to my PC first, and then while I process it, it will kill the stream I think I need a separate processing computer. The SA GTI is surviving the minus 22 degrees Celsius cold, Guillaume. That's awesome. These are such beautiful skies. We can see the airplanes crossing the sky. It's a thing of beauty. Yeah, I wonder if all of those lights there, they might actually even impact the other scopes because the sky is so freaking dark. So I'm wondering if those lights from the other scopes, those green lights, etc., could have an impact. Have you heard of the belt teeth on a strain wave mount cause an oscillation? I'm looking at the HEM 15 with weird 17.5 seconds oscillation. I've actually heard of the AM5, which uses a belt that needed belt tensioning, and I don't know how to do that. Yeah, it seems to be, it could be an issue apparently with some mounts, but apparently it's doable to re-tension the belt on your own. So that could be something. Maybe the HEMS 15 needs something similar and it needs retensioning of the belt. Otherwise, the main mount that I'm using is the WD-20 by Warp Astron, and it's a direct connection between the strain wave gear, the motor, and the axis. Right, so it's just motor, strain wave, axis. We're done. So I don't have that potential issue with that. And thank you, Focus AG. You can do at a maximum of 39 frames of 600 seconds each. But for now, we're just doing like the live stack, and we'll wait another 5 minutes and 67 seconds until we get the results. The other LEDs won't mess with anything, but we do tape them up every couple weeks. There you go. Amazing. A T-God, what is your favorite planet? Earth. Definitely Earth. That's a good guiding figures. So one thing to note though, if you have very good guiding figures, if you get like 0.1 arc second or 0.2 arc seconds guiding, double check your guide settings, make sure that the focal length for your guide scope is set up properly, because sometimes it's lying to you. Oh yeah, Jonathan, you got the WD-17 and you weren't kidding, those mounts are silent. Absolutely. You could be sitting next to the mount with your back to it and it's slewing at full speed. You would not know it until the scope went and bashed you in the head. It's absolutely incredible. Many obsies I talked to actually forbid any LEDs. Any LEDs on your rig that can be disabled need to be taped over. This also applies to IR lamps in webcams. Yeah, it would. It would. That makes sense. We have Elliot joining from Boston. Long-time subscriber. Pleasant surprise to find you here live. Thanks for joining the live. How many people do we have right now? Let's see. How many people do I have? Just a sec. YouTube. We have 310 people on this live chat. This is insane. That's a lot of people. Wow, guys, that's awesome. Don't forget to like, become a member, all of that good stuff to support the channel. And yeah, Brace saying the WD is scary. Yeah, the UMI mounts like the UMI 17S, I don't remember the name. They have those direct drives. It's not a real direct drive, but semi-direct drive as well. And yeah, I think they're pretty much the same design. The SEM 25 mount, Dan, can get excellent guiding figures. There's a bit of lottery with the SEM mounts, but when they work, they're beautiful. How do you get such good guiding? So here, the main reason for this good guiding is the good sky quality there. And if you're using like one of the strain wave gear mounts, as far as I can tell, it's really PhD, push here dummy, and it just works. The only thing you might have to play with is the aggressiveness. I'm getting the question, have you had the chance to play with the new update to Noise Exterminator? Yes, on the stream, now it's like 2 hours ago. And this is the before. So let me zoom in a little bit on the areas with nice details. This was taken with the Minicam 8 and the ASCAR SQF55 on an AM5N mount. So this is the before, and this is the after. And the result is absolutely insane. Actually, I can do something fun. I can take the before, clone the image. Why can't I clone the image? Why don't you want me to clone the image? There. Clone the image, go to after, and we can compare more in a more dynamic way there. By basically, if I remember correctly, I would need to do shift, drag, and drop, and now, nope. So control, drag and drop. There we go. Yes, this is the result. I mean, it's insanely good. On this image, like look at that. Look at this area there. It's completely bonkers. It's insane. Now, I'm worried that it could be like finding detail that doesn't exist. Like look at that here. And now it's like very well defined as detail. Does this detail actually exist in the real world? I don't know. And that could be a drawback, but yeah, it's I think it's one of those instances where it's probably worth it. But like look at this here. It's kind of just a blob, but now it's like an O shape, like sideways O. And I'm not sure whether that is fully accurate, but then you can make it out here as well. So it does feel like Noise Exterminator with version 3, it's like if you took a human artist, you gave them this, and you asked them to sketch it minus the noise, they'd probably come up with something like that. So very, very impressive, as far as I can tell for now. Oh, and while I was talking, we get a gift of 10 memberships from Sean. Thank you so much for the support, Sean. Everyone, please thank Sean. And it's really amazing. So much support, and it really helps out. And I'm thinking, I mean, more than thinking, I've decided to go full-time. I've actually done the paperwork to register my YouTube channel as a sole proprietorship just last week. So having this kind of support means the world, because it means that I'm not, basically committing career. I don't know if I have the right to say that on YouTube. Suicide, right? So it's very comforting. So Photon Collector is saying, I'm in the middle of M78 project, so shooting it too, but at 672 millimeters. Probably a better focal length, right? And then Dark Sky Geek. We have Dark Sky Geek in the chat. Konbanwa. Cuiv's live streams are always entertaining and informative. Thank you so much. So I met, we met in Shimokitazawa just a few months ago. Dark Sky Geek has some of the most in-depth videos that you can find on YouTube. Oops. If you search for Dark Sky Geek, there it is. If you want something that goes more into the details than I do, this is the channel to go to. Absolutely incredible stuff. Anyway, are we close to 10 minutes? Yes, we're downloading the frames. 10 minutes have elapsed. The frame is downloading. This is amazing. And we have Kiera, who also joined as a member. Thank you so much for your support. This really, really helps the channel out. And what else? What else do we see? 5.5 hours until you reach 30 degrees. That's great. Like I almost wish, when I'm imaging these targets, I wish I had the 585 camera rather than the 2600 MC camera, simply because of the smaller pixels. of the 585 that can take full advantage of the aperture and the optical resolution of the Red Cat. Not even fully, but can take better advantage than the larger pixels. That is a single 10 minutes exposure. Ah, this is beautiful. I would accept that as a raw frame of a stack. That would be my whole stack across 3 nights. This would be my whole stack across three nights, guys. Oh, man. And now let's look at the star shapes. Now we're going to criticize your scope, Bray. That's what we're here for. Star shapes, are they good in the corner? Quite decent, actually. They get a bit triangular and elongated, but otherwise quite decent. Yeah, same story here. A bit oblong, getting slightly elongated, but otherwise quite decent. And no! Did we lose the SIR? No! Okay, let me try to troubleshoot the SIR again. Come on. So now I'm not sharing my screen because I need to reset again the location, and it will default to my Tokyo location. So I cannot dox myself, but I can dox Bray. That's what we do. Oh, wow, 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 wow. What's going on? We have Dark Sky Geek giving me $10 for no reason, and he'll be in Osaka and Kyoto next week. That's awesome. You can visit Kyoe Osaka, right? And buy another TAC. Can you please buy an SQA85 and compare it to your FSQ85? That would be super helpful. Please, Julien, do it. And we have an insane donation from lucky number 7 of $100. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Absolutely wow. Wow. I'm having trouble getting over it. So much support, guys. Okay, the ASI Air is back up. The app is back up. So let me go back to streaming. That's where I kind of like Nina. Yeah, hopefully we can see the image again. And again, Stan, thank you so much for your help on the moderation. This is the first time that I have a stream that goes to, now we're below 300 viewers, but it was like over 300 viewers a few minutes ago. And yeah, the chat was getting a bit overboard. It was the first time that it happened to me. So Stan volunteered to be a moderator on the chat. I made him a moderator, and thank you so much for your help. And there we go. We have just a single exposure that is visible again. I'm no longer going to zoom in to criticize the, to critique the optics of the Red Cat 61, because immediately the Red Cat 61 basically said like, nope, if you do so, I will crash your ASI Air app. So Dark Sky Geek is saying, no new Astro gear for me, my wife will divorce me. Okay, fair. Although, you know, if your voice divorced you, you would have more budget to... no, I'm joking, of course. It's a bad joke too. I'm sorry about that. Now, Cuiv can afford a plane wave. Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need to get a plane wave. What gain are you using? I'm likely using the default gain of 100. Yes, default gain of 100. And the camera is cooled, everything is beautiful, and we are waiting for the second exposure to come in. And that's where, like with the second exposure, we should see an almost 50% improvement of the signal-to-noise ratio, 41% improvement of the signal-to-noise ratio, right? So we should see a large difference immediately. So I'm looking forward to the stack of the second frame. Then we have a Bartholomew, $10 so I can get myself some soba after you quit your job. There's actually a really good soba place near my place. The best soba they have there is 1,400 yen. So it's not cheap for a soba place, but it's a good price. and it is basically covered by those $10. Unfortunately, Google will take their 30% cut. If you use an Apple device and the YouTube app on there, Apple will take another 30% because, my God, Apple. Yeah, I will definitely use that for Soba. Thank you so much, Bartholomew, for your support. That's absolutely amazing. If anyone is wondering how to support the channel in like the most efficient way possible, I think right now the service that takes the lowest cut is Patreon. But regardless of which platform you use to support me, everything is absolutely appreciated, guys. You are absolutely amazing. Oh, you know what's funny is I got into astrophotography to take my mind off my divorce. So, photon collector, I know the feeling. It's after a hard separation that I really got more into astrophotography. My previous partner actually did not like me doing astrophotography. She was jealous of the time that I spent with my telescopes. So I overcompensated after separating. So yeah, I know the feeling. Guillaume is asking, what is or was your main occupation in Japan? I am a software product manager for a payment service provider that specializes in niche kind of payment methods in Japan, like convenience store payments and that kind of stuff. Jan is saying, but that's 2 frames already, unless it is done in the app. I think it's a bug because the app was restarted. So yeah, Jan, what happened is that the app was restarted and it actually re-downloaded the single frame that we had already downloaded. So we have stacked only 1 and the second one is still in progress. So it was an illusion. The second download was an illusion. Hugh, nice to see you. I think you've never missed any of my streams. So thanks for joining again. That's awesome. I believe that when you run Nina, you use an offset. Can you do the same with the SI Air? No, the SI Air has a default offset that is built so that you will never have any issues of having a too low offset. So the SI Air basically does that, so it's simpler for you, although it might be sacrificing a tiny bit of dynamic range that it may not need to sacrifice per se. Wow, Hugh, $5. Thank you so much for your support. You're already a channel member and you're giving me more on top of that. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, buy me a coffee. I should set up a buy me a coffee. At the time I tried and didn't didn't have support for someone like me who has dual citizenship, including US citizenship, but doesn't reside in the US. It was kind of weird. So I need to look at it again. And going back to the SI Air, so yeah, your offset is set automatically to a value that is larger than necessary, but that way it just sacrifices a tiny bit of dynamic range to make sure that your offset will never be a problem. Also, Bray says, also went through a breakup before Starfront. Yeah, I feel like in such hobbies that are expensive and all-consuming in a way, breakups kind of tend to happen. Okay, what else do we see? As the saying goes, you can't take the sky from me. Exactly. Okay, I don't get that quote, so I'm gonna Google it. And we had a dither. Are we getting a second frame stacked soon? Let's see. Oh yes, stacked 2. We have now 2 frames stacked. Celebration. That's one thing that I wish I had in the SI. Oh wait, no, it's downloading, so we'll see the change. This is one thing that I loved with what's the name? That white smart telescope that looks like a portal turret. The Vespera 2. I really liked that it saves every step of the life stack. So if you want to compare the image when there were only 2 frame stack, and after 10 images you can do so, you have like, it's almost a time travel through the stacking, and it's awesome. And I kind of wish I had that in the SI Air. Maybe there is. Let me know if there is. Let me know in the comments if there is that. Focus AG, that's a good balance. That's really good. And what do we see? I live in an area with lots of LED city lights. It's same here. All of the, I have like right down my window, like almost shining into my window, I have LED lights actually. My house is built on a small terrain. Oh wow, nice, nice star trail. Not star trail, nice airplane, I guess. I was saying my house is built on a small terrain, so I have first floor, second floor, third floor, and then the fourth floor is actually my rooftop balcony. But I'm on the second floor right now, and yeah, the LED lights almost shine into my window. It's super pleasant. Jan is saying, damn, you guys make some really great points regarding relationships. Maybe I should rethink some stuff. Yes, rethink your life. Make everything about Astro. I think Bray has really fallen down the deep end into Astro, like really all the way into the deep end. Iron Man, look at that. How beautiful is this? Oh, I keep trying to move the sharp cap window instead of the AnyDesk window, which means that each time I have to re-put it full screen. Come on. No, I didn't want to do that. There. Okay, so we're getting on the third exposure, but this again, remove the airplane trail. This would be my final stack. If I'm here in Tokyo, this would be my stack for like several nights of imaging, and we've done only 20 minutes of imaging. It's absolutely insane. Ah, that's true. Maybe Starlink as well. Does this setup has any filters? Only UV-IR cut. Just marry a nerd like I did. Marrying a nerd is always a good idea. And Hugh, you were asking, have you looked at the upcoming Serial 1.4? Yes. Go for PixInsight. I mean, Serial 1.4 is going to be amazing, but I don't think it will beat PixInsight yet, especially when you add Blur Exterminator, Noise Exterminator, because it's good we are having competition, because the pressure has been put on Russ by Graxpert, by Deep Sky Detail, by SETI Astro, and so he's improving his tools, and Noise Exterminator version 3 is absolutely insane. I cannot get over the difference between the after on the left and before on the right, because we are reading from right to left. This is Japan, which they don't no longer do that, but yeah. Ah, this is so beautiful though. So now we're getting some weird oscillations. And when I see that, typically I would want to reduce the RA aggressiveness, but I've already done so. So that's interesting. Okay. Lucky number 7. Pretty amazing fun time, especially because it's not clear here tonight. This is amazing fun. Yes, I'm having a lot of fun, although I will say I'm starting to get a bit tired after 3 hours. Dang, 3 hours of streaming. My throat is starting to kill me. So, Jed, the Dwarf 3 stacked fits files, I think the latest beta firmware has it properly linear, but the current production firmware for the Dwarf 3, the stack is stretched, which is a big no-no for processing. So yes, with the current firmware, you definitely need to stack your own, to do your own stack. And with the new firmware, once it's released, you will need to compare to see what's going on. And okay, Chris is telling me the wind is picking up a bit. That makes sense. Could you do a comparison between NoiseX V2 and V3? Not on stream, because when I applied NoiseX, it killed the stream for a bit. But that's a good idea. The brick bouquet. Living in Japan is so smart. While it's night in Japan, you image yourself, and when it's day in Japan, you use your remote telescope. Wish I could do that. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not my remote telescope. I'm stealing Bray's telescope right now. But yeah, I'm really thinking that I should buy a rig and just send it to Starfront because this is incredible. And again, I keep like looking at this 30-second sky. Absolutely beautiful. Zoom auto. Come on, there you go. Why not frame with Boogeyman? So this is a good question. It's simply I am not used to. Oh, did I do it again? Sorry, I keep doing the same mistake over and over again. I will come back to your question in a moment while I tell SharpCap to go back to being full screen. There. And now I'm going to use the AnyDesk window border to move it. So I'm not used to this area at all because I've never imaged it. And where's the boogeyman? Is the boogeyman like where? Where is it? Yeah, but that's that's where I should have opened up like the framing, the sky atlas. Actually, I'm kind of worried that I might crash the app again, but I'll try. Okay, I'm gonna search for M78. Hopefully, I can center it on the. Okay, it was already centered. Ah, I see. Where's the boogeyman? Is the boogeyman that arc there? I see. So we should have gone with like this kind of framing, is what you're saying. Is that right? Let me know if this new framing would be better. We have a donation of 5,000 ARS Argentine. While I eat, oh, this is so cool. I love that, Gonzalo. So this is $5 US. Super appreciated. Really love the support. And I love that you're eating fried chicken at the same time. You know, there's a KFC not far from my place. I feel like eating fried chicken as well. But it's fast food and it's not good for me. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Otherwise, can you review the Unistellar EV scope and tell us how bad it is for the price? So, let me tell you a story, and I will not reveal who contacted me for that, but I got an email from a smart telescope company for a smart telescope that I had never tried, and I had never tried any of the products from that company. I am not saying that it is Unistellar. It may or it may not be Unistellar. And that email was asking me to make a sponsored video of their telescope and of their smart telescope. And I said as a reply, and they were asking me how much I would charge for a sponsored video. So I replied the usual stuff for sponsored videos. I don't do sponsored videos. The most I can do is a sponsor spot in the middle of another video like I do for Brilliant. And even then, I would only do a sponsor spot for a product that I actually like. And I've rejected so many other companies like Skillshare. I tested it out. I thought it was not very good. Not a sponsor. I had a VPN that wanted me to do the sponsor spot, and I said no because they wanted me to say stuff like, "Oh, it's for your privacy" and stuff like that. But that's not how a VPN works. I had what else? What else? BetterHelp, and no, I don't want to have BetterHelp as a sponsor, etc. And so I replied to them, I don't do sponsored videos, but if you send me your smart telescope, either on a loan or you can give it to me, in which case I have to disclose that in the video. But just I can do an honest review on it. And then they ghosted me. No reply whatsoever. Now I'm not saying it's Unistellar. Could be not Unistellar. But it happened. There you go. Make of that what you will. So you can rotate so it's horizontally, and then the boogeyman is off to the left. Okay. Well, you know, I'm not going to change the framing too much. And is LDN 1622? Okay, I'm going to search for LDN 1622. Let's see, where is that? Ah, okay, so it would... Ah, so the boogeyman is here. So yeah, we'd have to have a framing like this or be able to rotate it. But we're not going to rotate it. Maybe bruh. Maybe bruh, I should send you this. Oh man. Let's put it there, like nice and visible, to say like, hey Bray, if you had that, we could have had a better framing. Oh man, I am evil. I am evil. Otherwise, I apologize for asking stupid, limited knowledge questions. No, Jed, not at all. Please do not apologize. This is great questions. It's always good. No question is dumb. It's always a good thing. Cuiv, if you ever get a scope down there permanently, you should do a comparison of the same object image from a dark side and from a white side. That is actually a very good point. I did that a while back when I had a telescope at home, and I went to a Bartle 4 or 5 zone, and I imaged the same target, I believe it was M31, from both telescopes at the same time. But yeah, comparing Starfront to Tokyo could be quite interesting. We have a huge donation again, 14 Australian dollars from Georgie. And oops, no, I don't want to exit the SIR app. There we go. This is what we get. We have 3 images stacked. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, give me a sec. It's my wife. My wife is contacting me. I need to answer the wife. Always important to answer the wife. Okay, done. Very important. What were you saying? To be perfectly fair, you don't have to review it to see how bad the Unistellar is. Oh man, it makes me want to not look at it at all. Yeah, I actually really like the idea. I like this idea as well. So maybe I should do that. I'm gonna write it down. What did I say I want to do? Dang, I have goldfish memory. Oh yes, Starfront versus Tokyo. And we could have the SQF 55 versus the Red Cat 61. I think they're close enough. The Red Cat 61 is probably f4.9 still, right? So yeah, perfect. Yeah, let's do it. That would be awesome. That's a great idea, guys. Sean is asking, are we ever going to get any more paragliding videos? I might actually. I might. I mean, there's actually, if you search for paragliding in Japan, there's this channel there, and I sometimes post my my paragliding videos there. So that's yeah, a video in Tsukuba, like northeast of Tokyo, where I was flying around there. So yeah, I do have like my whole flights, but no commentary, no nothing. If you just want to have like the noise of the wind in your ears, it's great. And I'm flying in turbulence right now, but good control, active control. Nice job, Cuiv. Well done. Man. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. The Starfront versus Tokyo sounds like an awesome idea. So yeah, maybe I could do it on M78 at some point. Yeah, very good idea. Oh yes, that's true. I also did a collaboration with Nico Carver from Nebula Photos, where we both imaged the Pleiades. and from his dark zone and from my not so dark zone. Guillaume is telling us that he got the Vespera Pro. It's his first scope, and for now he's very happy with it. It fixes every issue of the Vespera 2, the sensor, the battery, and the memory. Actually, I prefer the sensor of the Vespera 2. The 585 is such an awesome sensor. But I agree on battery and memory. Definitely the Vespera 2 had shortcomings there. Also, I think your Vespera Pro includes the hygrometer, whatever, the sensor that lets you use the dew heater. Okay, so now we have almost 40 minutes. And wait, we're getting Wheeljack, a donation of 100 NOK. Remind me, what's a NOK? Let's see. NOK. And okay. It gives me, it immediately gets me on the page of, Norwegian krone. Of course. Thank you so much for your support. That's amazing. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. It's like, we're getting there, guys. That's a great question for Bray. If you're in the chat, are there any smart scopes at Starfront? Also, what's the most popular rig? That's a very good question, because I've tried using the C-Star app over VPN, but I could not get it to work. So I'm wondering if it's possible to have like a C-Star at Starfront, because then I would totally send like the C-Star S30 or the S50 there as my personal rig and then just control it whenever I want to. That's an awesome idea. Bray, hey, Bray, tell us, does it work? Does it work? Especially with the equatorial updates of the C-Star, just send the beefy tripod and have Bray like polar align it. That would be awesome. Now I want to do that. If I can shoot from a Bortle 2 sky, should I forget filters? Well, you should at least have a UV-IR cut filter if your camera does not have a UV-IR cut window. Unless you want to try like the SV240 filter, but then something I learned after posting the video, unfortunately, is that it can have trouble with refractors, because then the near infrared can mess up with the stars on refractors. And I had tested it on a Newtonian, unfortunately. So yeah, otherwise, with that exception, definitely UV-IR cut filter, at least. And you'll still get much better results in a Bortle 2 for narrowband, but if you get to the Bortle 2, I would do like we did today, just like a luminous filter. And Chuck, wow, Chuck, that's awesome. I cannot believe that Chuck is giving me, supporting the channel for $10 worth. It is their first super thanks on a live stream. I feel honored, Chuck. That's amazing, mate. Thank you so much. Chuck, by the way, has the best live streams, much better than mine. Definitely check his channel out. His old videos with bloopers at the end are gold as well. Absolutely go and have a look. And Bray is saying we do have a number of smartphones, multiple origins, and C-Stars. Okay, I'll contact you on Instagram again just to ask you. Maybe I could send my S30. I'll think on it. That's awesome. Jan is saying I'm doing with PLN. What's PLN? PLN, currency. Polish zloty. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jan, for your support. And Jan is saying I'm doing a collab with a few people to put a triple ASCAR 140 APO plus IMX 455 in Astro Camp. I'd be happy to join the shoot off when we're live. That's actually a good idea for like once I have a Discord channel. That kind of stuff would be pretty amazing. Should you just do UV-IR cut in Bortle 1 or should you try a quad band filter? You know what? I don't like quad band filters. I don't like UHC filters. I don't like CLS-CCD filters. I feel, from my personal experience in Tokyo, that I'm better off with just a UV-IR cut filter than trying those out. And in the Bortle 1, that's what I do. It's my personal experience, personal opinion. It might not be the right opinion. Oh, and we lost the SIR. No! Oh, come on. Okay, it's gonna work again. I'll hide the screen just in case it asks me for my coordinates again. Quentin, it's 3 a.m. in France. Currently shooting the Rosette. 3 a.m. Dude, go to bed. Early, oh no, that's less fun. Later. Earlier in the night, my AM5 mount literally destroyed 4 of my cables and my hand at the same time. I understand. So I actually have an upcoming video about a firmware update on the WD-20. And that firmware update adds a detection of crash based on the current being used by the motors. And also it has an encoder-based limit, meaning that now I feel so much more comfortable now with my WD-20 because if it crashes, first, it's impossible for it to crash into anything anymore because it has encoder-based limits. And on top of that, if it did crash into something, I tested it by blocking it with my hand. It just stops and then goes back for 5 degrees. Absolutely amazing stuff. I'll have a video on that soon. But yeah, I feel your pain, Quentin. I have multiple dead cables as well. Even now, the cable that provides power to my Minicam 8, one of the ends is actually bent, and it's probably, I should not be using it, but I'm still using it, and it's bent because of such an incident. Almost had a Cuiv night. Plugged my camera into the due assigned. Ooh, good. Lone Monk, I'm glad you were fine. We get some further support from Mr. Vorticos for $2. Thank you so much for your support. And we have some amazing stuff going on here with Lone Monk gifting 20 memberships. Again, guys, so much support. Thank you so much for that. And everyone, please say thank you for the membership. This is insane. And Steven is saying good night. Good night. It is getting very late or early, depending on your point of view. So let me share my screen again because we are back on with the ESI Air. But guys, I'll be honest, I'm starting to get exhausted. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Dang. That's a lot. Bortle 1.2 is like a superpower. UV-IR is all that's absolutely necessary unless you're shooting mono. I'm lucky that back home, yeah, I agree. Scott, I completely agree. If you're in a Bortle 1, Bortle 2, you can do narrowband. Just a sec, I have my little foot heater that fell down. There we go, we're back in business. But yeah, you can do narrowband and you'll get excellent narrowband results. Much better than in Tokyo. So it's fun to do narrowband even from Bortle 1 and Bortle 2, but a lot of the time you just want to go with your UV-IR cut filter and that's it. Absolutely amazing. And we have multiple people shooting the Rosette Nebula. What else? Come on, Cuiv, Luke goes. Yes. Oh no, cheap Astro. I was one of the few remaining and missed the membership Loto due to some sort of issue with the net. It happens, But we have 40 minutes worth of data on M78. And you know what? It's like if my final image post-processing looked like that, I'd be over the moon. It's, you know, like this is the biggest drawback of using Starfront Observatories because it makes you depressed about your own rig on your rooftop balcony in Tokyo. It's wow. All right, Bray is the expert about narrowband in Bortle 1 with his discoveries of nebula. I had forgotten about that. Bray, I'm sorry about that. That's awesome. Yet there are many objects you can only do narrowband in Bortle 1, like that Oxygen 3 arc next to M31, right? Oh man, I forgot about that. Absolutely. And heck, you know, the Hubble telescope images in narrowband. There's a reason for that. I mean, it can image broadband as well, but it also images in narrowband. Godfather Astro, great catching you live. Thank you for your videos. Thank you so much, Godfather. It's been a very fun live. I've been on for 3 hours and 24 minutes now. I'm getting tired, guys. I need to drink more water. Better, much better. And this is what we get with 40 minutes of data. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. This is not processed. And the SAR, it doesn't do any like denoising, right? It's just a stack. Incredible stuff. Will Jack, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your donation earlier. 3:30 a.m. Please go to bed and have a good night. And yeah, I think a lot of people are saying good night. And let me see how many people left on the chat. We are slowly losing viewers, and I'm slowly getting tired. So you know what? I'm gonna wait for the next exposure to be stacked, and then I'll call it a night or a day. And yeah, this has been awesome, guys. We need to do that again with Starfront Observatories. Also, is it just me or is the framing different than it used to be? The dithering. Is the dithering too powerful? Maybe the dithering is too powerful. And this is no longer on the center, but that's fine. This is absolutely amazing. Georgie, thanks again for your help, for your support earlier, and thank you for your dedication to astrophotography. You're a wealth of knowledge. I try, and I try to also admit when I just don't know stuff. So like my review of the CAA, I haven't replied to the comments yet, but I see a lot of comments pointing out stuff that I'd missed, and that's awesome because I'm not a rotator expert. So it's absolutely awesome. Yeah, I think the life stack does do rejection to some extent, but this star trail is too powerful for rejection on just 4 frames. Not star trail, plane trail. Thanks for all you do for the astro community. I'm just starting in astrophotography and I feel very comfortable knowing what to do with all of the information you supply. This is why I do what I do. I love to see that. Mitch, this is awesome. It's why I started this channel. And it's why I started contributing code to Nina back in 2019, back in the day. GPOM22, welcome as a member. Thank you so much for your support. And Alexandra Rosa, thanks for joining as well. So glad you joined. It's awesome. Mike is saying good night. Good night. And then we have Aries 701 saying, I saw the video of the triple RASA setup at Starfront and that made me so jealous on how much data you can gather in one night. Guys, this is 40 minutes. Freaking insane. Just send your rig to Starfront. And we have Pete, 50 pounds. Thanks for the stream, Cuiv. Pete, that is awesome again. That's so much support. Thank you so much for that. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, Gonzalo is saying lazy and tired geek, like both at the same time, right? Oh man, you should look into the friction mounts on the market. So the Trident mount, right? I would love to try one out. Maybe at some point Bray can give me access to his 3 RASA rig. Bray, how is it working out for you, like that friction mount? Did you have anything like weird issues with it? Or it's just like out of the box working? Tomorrow I will have a night shift at work so I can watch your live stream tonight in Switzerland. Riedbach is saying, you know what? Switzerland makes me think I did a paragliding course in Annecy, so very close to Switzerland, in September. And it was a lot of fun. And one of my friends there, she went to Switzerland afterwards to fly. And on her way back to Japan, she got stopped at the airport because she had one of those keychains that are like a face self-defense thing. It's called a kubotan. Apparently, it's just like basically it's just like a pen. It's just a pen, but somehow in Switzerland it's considered to be a weapon. And she was stopped. She had to reschedule her flight, and she received an ordonnance pénale about that recently, telling her she needed to pay like something like $1,000 equivalent in Swiss francs for having brought this pen to Switzerland. I'm like, wow, I need to be careful if I ever go to Switzerland. Oh man. We have, oh wow, Sigimn. Greetings from Poland. Unfortunately, it's cloudy here, no stars in the sky. It's cloudy and rainy in Tokyo, but we have all of those amazing stars there. Look at this night sky. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, one of the issues with Starfront is it's almost you have too many clear skies, because then I almost feel forced, like I feel like I'm not doing something right if I'm not using the rig every single night there are clear skies. And it's putting psychological pressure on me. It's absolutely amazing. James is saying, and so Sigimn, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you get clear skies soon. Remember, you have to post your first light to the SFRO Discord, or Reg will cut your network cable. Okay. Should I just take a screenshot there? Pop. Screenshots. Let's go. That was my Discord there. Should I put it in general? Let's see. It's not quite my first like, but trying out the for rig on M78. These skies and support and everything is amazing. There you go. I hope it's okay in the general channel, right? Probably fine. Probably fine. Pop. There you go. I have now posted this this first light. Anyway, what were we saying? Okay, I don't know if I should read this one. So James, good night. Thank you so much. Sigmin, again, thank you so much for your support. And Bray, yeah, I understand about on-step. The trick with I don't know, I say it all the time, but on-step does something horrible with the meridian flip, is it defines both a meridian window and meridian limits at the same time. And so the only way, I mean, it's not the only way. I do something different on my W20 because I'm using it with the StellarMate Pro, and it can support that. But the easiest way to make on-step work is to have the meridian limits, both of them set to 0, because then you completely remove that meridian window, and the preferred side of peer setting does not matter anymore. And then you can set your meridian flip, the tracking to stop 5 minutes after before meridian, and then flip 5 minutes after. But you lose those 10 minutes of imaging time. If you want to keep those 10 minutes of imaging time, you need to set the preferred side of peer, which is only available from the controller. You don't have access to it from the ASCOM driver or the Indy driver for that matter. But you need to set the preferred side of peer to west. And then you can track an image through the meridian and then do the flip. But and your limit in that case should be a certain number of degrees to the west, but east should be 0. It's an insane kind of setup, and I do not like this design. Jose is saying, Cuiv, my girlfriend says you're cute. I don't know how I should feel about it. I may ban her from watching your channel. Oh man, it's okay. I have a ring here. I am married. I will not steal your girlfriend. Everything's fine. But doesn't mean that I don't feel flattered. So I am flattered. Thank you. Then we have, do we have 5 frames stacked now? Yes, we have 5 frames stacked. So I need to bring this live stream soro to a close. This hobby keeps you challenged with equipment issues. Actually, you know what? I think in the Starfront Obsies, the best setup, the best control center might be either Nina with the, there's a plugin by Palmer something, I don't remember his name, but there's a plugin that does the same thing as the StellarMate Pro or Ecos/Indy, in that you can basically tell it, I want to image these targets, I want to take this kind of exposure with each of those targets, with these filters, and then just figure it out. And then the StellarMate Pro or Nina with that plugin will just decide dynamically which targets is the best to image right now. You have your criteria, that kind of stuff that you set up for each of the targets. It will decide which target is the best. It will point to it. It will do the imaging session. Then when it's not good enough, it goes to the next target. When the astronomical dawn comes, it stops, goes back to home. And then the following night, it does exactly the same all over again without you having to do anything. That would be such a great way to use the Starfront Observatories. So Nina with that plugin, or StellarMate Pro or Ecos/Indy with that, because then it's absolutely amazing. It's my first clear night in 2 months. I'll gladly take those Starfront skies. Absolutely. I was using Nina and Forever Loop, then my system starts dropping USB. I use OnStep and never really tried to set up meridian flips. Tried once, failed, but I care not. I'm on hand. That's fine. But again, if you have any doubt about the meridian flips, just set the meridian limits west and east to 0 and set to stop 5 minutes before meridian, flip 5 minutes after meridian. That always works. Okay. Okay, someone is telling me that I should wait until the last exposure is done before to get the full hour. So I'll wait that. There it is, Target Scheduler. That plugin looks amazing. And someone suggested it to me on the YouTube channel, and I said like, no, it's too automated. I don't want to use that kind of stuff. And then I looked at it and I was wrong. And I could not find the initial comment to apologize to them. So if you watch this and you're the person who made that comment and pointed me to the Target Scheduler and then had me reply like, no, I'm not interested, I am sorry. I am interested. Thanks again. Just in time for the Apex Legends Pro League finals to start in Japan. Okay, I don't watch Apex Legends. The only game videos I watch are Age of Empires 2. I'm old school like that. Oh man. That's awesome. Now I really need to get into Target Scheduler some more. Greetings from Cambridge, UK. Just had first light with my S50. That's awesome. I decided to buy it following a Cuiv's positive review and I love it already. That's awesome. The S50 is really an awesome scope. The Dwarf 3 as well. It's amazing. Those smart telescopes for the price are absolutely amazing. I think a slightly overkill PC would be a good buffer for ensuring everything works well. If you do imaging in a loop, especially with an AMX 571, I would recommend at least an N100 processor. You can use satellite remover tool by SETI Astro. Yeah, I mean, although with the stacking, I believe that with manual, with the proper Sigma clipping, it would remove the star trails in the end. Haha, Jan, absolutely. If you guys don't know, the Age of Empires 2 is a strategy game from the 90s, if I remember correctly. And it's still going strong. And it's a lot of strategy. There's macro strategy and micro strategy all at once. It's a perfect balance, and the matches there are absolutely beautiful. They're very thrilling. And the best streamer, in my opinion, these days is T90 Official. Really good stuff. And we have Richard Lowe in the last minutes of the stream donating $50 US. Thank you so much, Richard, for your support. You're also a channel member. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. This really makes a huge difference. And yeah, we're getting towards the end of that 1 hour of exposure. Pete, also AOE fan. I love that. We have some AOE fans there. I love this. I love AOE too. I'm not a good player, but I love watching. I used to play when I was a kid. Oh, there you go. Tons of reactions there. This is cool. This is nice. Yeah, I used to play AOE 2, And I started with AoE 1 actually, after Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2 did have the best voice acting though, but yeah. Oh man. Do I need an 8-core 16-thread CPU for imaging computer? No, but yeah, it doesn't hurt. I use my old editing PC to run one of my rigs. Ryzen 3600X is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a really good processor, even now. And just as we're stacking the last frame, the ASI air drops. Come on. Come on. Jan, definitely. I will definitely set up. Once I'm full-time and I have the time, I'll go for Discord. And good night, Ironman Astro. Thank you so much for joining. And let's see, can I get the SIR to work again? I'm hiding it in case it reveals my location. In the meantime, we can look at this beautiful Jellyfish Nebula. Come on, NXT is amazing. NXT V3. I need to reprocess all of my pictures. Oh man. Let's see. Yes. So will it download the latest live frame? I'll give it 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and hopefully we can see the final stack. There, yes, it's downloading. Cuiv, what do you think of electronic eyepieces such as the Pegasus Astro Smart Eye? You know, I'd love to try one out. I've never tried one out, but it sounds like a good idea. Even though it sounds like, hey, why not just look at on your smartphone with Live Stack ASI Air? What's the difference? I guess it's just the gesture of looking into your scope, even if it's an electronic eyepiece. I want to try one out, definitely, but I don't know how good they are. So yeah. Wololo. Sorry. OG AOE is the best. Still a strong meme, and the cheat codes were goated. Oh yeah. EMC Tube Trooper. I remember that one. And there was I don't remember the others. Sally Shears was one of the cheat codes. I don't remember what it does. Dang, it's insane that I still remember those. Warcraft 2, one of the cheat codes I remember is Corwin of Ember, based on one of a really awesome fantasy I would say, series by Roger Zelazny. Absolutely amazing books. Okay, guys, this is the final stack, and I'm gonna leave it to image. Actually, will it go back home at the end? I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll stop the imaging, pop, go to an auto run where I can actually exit live. Yes. Go to an auto run, and I will set up. I think I have time for 25 roughly. 25 light frames. Let's put 20 just so we have the best skies. 20 light frames, confirm 600 each, and return home at the end. That way, that's gonna properly do the sequence. And I'll just start it. Should work. Yes, confirm. There we go. Okay, guys. This is the final results after 1 hour of imaging from those pristine skies at Starfront. Although I'm starting to see some clouds. I'm starting. I had checked every frame. Don't worry, it was checked. I remember checking it. So if I go to image management, yeah, I forgot that image management had issues. But live, hola. I was going to say hola, which is Japanese. But yeah, look, those. We have the 6 frames. They're there. They were saved. Don't worry, we're good. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. It's been a blast. There's been a tsunami of support. Amazing, guys. Let me go back to full screen just so I can properly say goodbye, and then go and have lunch somewhere. There we go. guys, that was really amazing. And I want to thank Bray so much for lending me this rig. I'm going to keep using it. It's amazing that I can use like an ASIR app on an emulator on my PC with OpenVPN to connect to a PC an ASIR in Texas to control a whole astrophotography rig. Absolutely insane. And then we have any desk to double check the all sky camera. Beautiful. And we have a last minute support message from Sean. Again, Sean, thank you so much. And a channel member at the same time. Thanks for the stream, Cuiv, and congrats on taking it full time. My one-on-one is on Tuesday. Fingers crossed I'll have the guts to actually tell my boss. Because something that happens to me usually is that I get promoted fairly quickly at work. And again, I'm getting promoted these days. And so it makes it hard to leave because then they're like, but we just promoted you. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. So wish me luck on that. Guys, this was amazing. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's morning, evening, night for you guys, but good morning, good afternoon, good lunch, good dinner, good evening, and good night. Again, Bray, thank you for your help and your support. Pete, as always, has been an MVP in terms of the support to the channel. Absolutely amazing, man. Really appreciate it. Plus, I learned you like AOE, so wololo for that. And Stan, thank you so much for the moderation. We did have a rough patch in the middle, but you made it go back to normal. And victim of my own success, I guess, but absolutely amazing. So maybe my boss is watching the stream and I won't need the conversation. Maybe I'll have a Slack message on Monday morning telling me, hey, Cuiv, you want to have a word with you, please? Thanks so much, guys. Okay, so I think we can call it a night, call it a day, whatever we want to say. Thank you again so much. This has been a blast, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And okay, I will do the Truman impression. In case I don't see you anymore, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Okay, guys, don't forget, whenever you can, to look up at the stars, and I'll see you next time.